I'm Doug Brown with breaking news. When 8th-ranked Duke plays at Wake Forest tonight, head coach Mike Krzyzewski won't be with the team. He's out with a non-COVID-19 related illness. Duke did have virus issues in the program earlier this season. That Duke-Wake game at 7 Eastern on the ACC network. In the NBA tonight, the Bulls host the Nets, the top two teams in the Eastern Conference. ESPN's Tim Legler says picking up DeMar DeRozan was important for Chicago.
They've got an elite, star player in Zach LaVine who can score from everywhere on the floor. You don't win championships unless you've got a middle area of the floor dominant player. And that's what DeMar DeRozan has brought to them this year. So I love their team.
Bulls and Nets on ESPN at 10 Eastern after Mavericks and Knicks at 7:30 Eastern. After more than 200 career wins and 3 World Series titles, lefty John Lester will retire. He pitched for the Red Sox, A's, Cubs, Nationals, and Cardinals during his 16 big league seasons. He won 2 titles in Boston and 1 in Chicago.
When you're trying to find quality candidates, all the searching, screening, and interviewing can become a job itself. You need Indeed, the all-in-one platform that makes it easy to interview, screen, and hire quality people. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios. That's right.
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Pluckers. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Muso. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there, make it a good one. Oh, by the way, it's a hump day. Yep.
It's hump day.
Let's hump, everybody.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
LSU hoops at Florida.
Hump day.
Dane Bradshaw in about 15 minutes.
It's hump day.
LSU adds a couple of DB transfers.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Still need more.
Hump day.
Taylor Calandro later this hour.
It's hump day.
Is Kenny Pickett the future of the Saints?
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Ross Dellenger, hour 3.
Hump day.
We're giving away Pelicans floor seats today.
It's hump day.
And we're glad to have you with us here. Muso and Paulie are going to rap today.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Wait, what now?
Yeah, you guys are going to rap today.
Hump day.
I don't know about that.
Yep. Tupac,
It's hump day.
Biggie,
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Snoop,
Hump day.
Dre,
It's hump day.
Eminem,
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Billy Vanilli.
Hump day.
Take your pick, guys. All right, let's roll here. All right, by the way, as soon as I get off air today, jetting over to Yoga Studio 90, 6:45 tonight is the Meet Matt on the Mat class. Totally free. Anybody that wants to come, you want a great workout, come join us. 6:45, free class tonight at Yoga Studio 90. I'll be there. Come join. And at 5:30 today, we are drawing for the latest game, which is tomorrow. Pels at home against Clippers. We're drawing for those tickets today at 5:30. So go purchase your raffle ticket at 1045ESPN.com against Courtside for Charity. Purchase your tickets. You have time all the way up until 5:30 when we draw. On the show Tuesday, we talked about Dwight McGlothern transferring out of LSU, and we sort of ran through the numbers in the defensive backfield about how thin they were, how precarious the situation is. And minutes after we got off air, LSU added 2 transfers in the defensive backfield. ULL cornerback Mekhi Garner and Arkansas defensive back Joe Fouché. it is worth pointing out because some of the reaction was, man, this thing moves so fast. Look at the timing. LSU, you put that video out there, then LSU, or that segment out there, and LSU adds corners. It is worth noting that during the segment yesterday, we did talk about both Gardner and, well, Brooks from Arkansas was another one because it's another guy that they're anticipating potentially getting before they even got Fouché. But either Greg Brooks, but either way. So we did include those guys in the conversation yesterday, but they're far from finished. Let's take these one at a time. We'll start with Joe Fouché from Arkansas. So if you're not familiar with the backstory, Joe Fouché is from New Orleans, went to McDonough 35, was a 3-star, did not have a committable offer from LSU. Went to Arkansas in the class of 2018, played in 9 games as a freshman in 2018, started once, started 12 games in 2019. In the COVID year, a year ago, he played 8 games, started 8 games. And then this year started 12 of the 13 games that they played. He missed 1 game this year. So he has played a ton of football, and he is taking advantage of the extra year, and he's coming home. Kid from New Orleans who went to Arkansas. He's been there for 4 years. Now here's his chance to finish off his career in his home state at the home state school at LSU. LSU has lost 4 cornerbacks in this offseason. Stingley, Ricks, Flott, McLaughlin. 4 cornerbacks. The thing about Fouché is that he doesn't really fix that problem because he's a safety. In 2018, he started 9 games at free safety. 2019, he was a free safety. And then the past 2 years, he was a boundary safety. So he's not a cornerback. He's a safety. Could they play it? He's 5'11", 205. Could they play him at corner? Maybe. But I'd almost be inclined to say, man, I'd rather you kick Jay Ward from safety back to corner because you know he can play there. And Sage Ryan is already sort of your nickel safety role. So I don't know where Fouché fits, but a guy with SEC experience and a ton of it, figure it out. Like, find a spot for that guy. If not in the starting lineup, a way to get him, rotational snaps on the field. But that's a guy that was also a team captain at Arkansas. Typically when you see transfers, what we're talking about are guys that are looking for greener pastures. Either guys that aren't playing that are looking for more playing time, or guys that are on bad teams looking to go to a winning team. Well, Arkansas was a better team than LSU this year. I mean, I know LSU beat them, but Arkansas, I mean, y'all, they went to a New Year's Day bowl game and won it. They finished the season ranked 20th. LSU went 6-7 and was unranked. And it ain't like Fouché wasn't playing. He's a 4-year starter, 3-year starter, and a team captain. So this just goes to show you something that I have mentioned in the NIL time and is going to keep illustrating itself. There are some guys from Louisiana who are just going to want to play at LSU, regardless of any NIL opportunity or whatever. And Fouché apparently is one of those guys. The big question really is, how do you work the numbers? Because now you have numbers at safety. I mean, Jay Ward, Major Burns, they're both back. Sage Ryan, we mentioned, sort of the nickel safety role. Jordan Tolles, Davis, Langlois. I mean, you've got bodies there at safety now. So how do you figure out all the roles to make it all work? That's what we'll see here in time. But so Fouché commits to LSU, and they also get a pledge to the Tigers from ULL cornerback Mekhi Gardner. The most interesting part of Mekhi Gardner's tweet that he put out there, noting that he was leaving ULL for LSU, is and remember, this kid from Texas started his career at JUCO. He was a no-star recruit. Mekhi Gardner, coming out of high school, had no recruiting ranking. So he went JUCO, was at JUCO for a couple of years, went from JUCO to ULL, where he's been now for the past couple of years. So, I guess he got there in 19. So in 19, 20, and 21, so 3 seasons there at ULL. And he's a redshirt sophomore, so he's got the extra COVID year. But Mekhi Gardner tweeted, "New beginnings, new era." And in the note that he wrote, he said, "I'm very appreciative of everyone at ULL that has helped me during my time there. I'll never forget the memories and blah, 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 blah." but you have a player on the team calling it ULL. So all you pesky Cajun fans that get mad at me for calling you what you are, you can get mad at your own player now as well who's leaving you for greener pastures. Here's the thing about Mekhi Gardner. Somebody did on social media message me last night and said, it's an upgrade over McGlothern. Slow down. Okay, hold on. Dwight McGlothern is a 6'2 pterodactyl who became a starter when Stingley got hurt and made you really forget about Derek Stingley for the second half of the year. He was a 4-star from Texas, and he's going to go to another major, if it's A&M or Florida, wherever he goes, I don't know. But McGlothern, he'll be a first-round NFL pick, or certainly if not a first-round pick, a high second-round pick. McGlothern this isn't even a comp. Okay, please don't try to push that out there. Now, Gardner is a big kid, 6'2", 217, so he's got the prototypical size, and he's got experience. He's played in 26 career games, and McGlothern played in 17. So he does have more experience. Let's see if he can make the step up in competition and transition seamlessly. This is not something that everyone's been able to do. Remember, Darren Evans came here from Nichols, and it just didn't work for him. So I'll get it. That's an FCS school. This is group of 5 school at ULL. Let's see how that transition goes. And it's interesting because he's kind of taken this just crazy route from being a no-star recruit to going JUCO to ULL, now to LSU. I mean, it's just an amazing trajectory. He has taken those stair steps. It's almost like in the NFL, if you were an undrafted free agent, you go from undrafted free agent to making the practice squad to becoming a special teams player and a backup to then being a Pro Bowler. That's kind of the path he's followed. So congrats to Mekhi Gardner on this opportunity. Again, as a redshirt sophomore, he's got a couple of years left now at LSU that he could play. Having started his career at JUCO and now taking advantage of the redshirt season, and then obviously he has the COVID year that everyone has from 2020. So he could potentially be a multi-year player at LSU, but Brian Kelly told you he was going to have to rebuild this roster through the portal. They've already added Miles Frazier, the offensive lineman. They've added a long snapper. Now you add a couple of defensive backs, and they are far from finished, y'all. They need receivers. They need tight ends. They need linebackers. They need more DBs. They are going to rebuild this roster through the transfer portal. They're just getting started. So Joe Fauché and Mekhi Gardner, a couple of defensive backs added for 2022 for the LSU Tigers. All right, it's after further review. Basketball Tigers are on the hardwood tonight. You need a place to watch. You can get by Pluckers. It's a 6 o'clock tip. So we're inside of 3 hours from tip-off there from the O'Connell Center. Dane Bradshaw, the SEC Network, joins us next to preview it.
AFR.
Hey, I want to take 60 seconds and remind you about our friends at Hancock Whitney Bank, the official banking partner of LSU Athletics, the official banking partner of the New Orleans Saints, and the official banking partner of AFR and of me and so many of you, because for as long as I've had a bank, Hancock Whitney has been my bank. And it doesn't matter really what service that I've needed, Hancock Whitney's always been there. If it's if it's small business banking, if you need your personal checking account, if it's online banking, they have all the things you'd expect, like mobile check deposit and online bill pay and everything that you would expect from a big bank with the app and all the round-the-clock customer service. But you also have the personalized feel of a community bank when you walk in and they know your name. And whatever branch is yours, find it, and you'll find that same experience as I have for decades now. It's Hancock Whitney Bank, member FDIC, the official banking partner of LSU Athletics and of the New Orleans Saints. Hancock Whitney Bank, your dreams, our mission. That's their mantra and has been for 120 years, no matter where you are along the Gulf Coast. Check them out online at HancockWhitney.com, HancockWhitney.com.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese?
To join us here as LSU hits the road for their second conference road game of the year tonight. It is in Gainesville, 6 o'clock Central Time. Tip, Dane's with us now. How are you, man? Thanks for the time.
I'm great. Always good to be on with you. And it's officially basketball season, man. I'm getting radio requests again, all this stuff. I'm feeling just very slightly relevant on regional great sports radio shows with hosts like yourself.
And we had you on while football was still happening. Just it's worth
you did.
It's
in
worth
fairness, you're exactly right. Yeah, there's some that I hadn't heard from in the past few months, but you have kept the basketball top of mind, and good reason to be top of mind when you got a team like the LSU Tigers.
A ranked on ranked matchup tonight. Let me just get a thought. Start there with what Will Wade was talking about, which is the difficulty of winning on the road. Something that Auburn was able to do last night in Tuscaloosa. But what's been your general feeling here in the early part of conference play and making it through pre-conference with the challenges a lot of teams have had on the road?
I don't know that I could draw a conclusion of, hey, a lot of these guys, especially the young freshmen or the second-year freshmen or sophomores, however you want to qualify them, but hey, they've never played in a road environment where there are actually fans there. They're used to the cardboard cutouts. I mean, I'm sure that has a little bit to do with it, but I just think you got teams that are defending home court well, and I haven't dug deep enough into it to say, hey, is the home court better this year than it was a year ago? I don't know. I think you've just got teams and coaches that understand the importance of defending home court. Yes, the crowds can get into it, and that certainly plays a factor. But I don't sit there and say, oh, this is going to be some incredible trend all year long. I think if you eliminate the COVID year and the lack of fans, to me, this is just like any other year. Maybe I can be proven wrong statistically, but hey, you got to win your games at home and try to steal a few on the road. Yeah. We've been saying that for 20 years, and that's what's happening right now.
LSU's one road game obviously didn't go well at all. They got pounded at Auburn. Now they're at Florida tonight. They're going to be without Xavier Pinson. Look, you know the position well. So how does that impact LSU not having Xavier out on the floor tonight in Gainesville?
Oh, big time. Coach Wade can do a good enough job to have his team rally. I think they can win a game or two without Pinson. But can they be a top 15 team in the country without Pinson? No, I don't think they can. I think he's sort of the unsung hero, the steady force on offense. He's learned to really be a much better sort of pass-first facilitator at the point guard spot, where the knock on him before was, hey, he's more of a scoring guard looking for himself. I think Coach Wade's done a great job, as is Pinson, of being able to do just that. But going back to the home crowd, I'll be curious to see how Florida draws, because on these, even though this is a big matchup, sometimes when you're not in a big city where it's not easy to just get off work, grab your kids from school, head to the arena, that's where places like Knoxville, Lexington, Fayetteville can really benefit during these weekday games. And so all that to say, if I'm LSU, I'd rather catch a team like Florida or even an Ole Miss, whoever it is that's trying to upset you. If it's a smaller town, I'd rather catch them during the week as opposed to the weekend when families and others can kind of make an event out of it. But this is a scrappy blue-collar Florida-type team. They're going to have a lot of the same characteristics in terms of the toughness and ruggedness that LSU has, that they just aren't quite as talented. They're very likable, but they just don't have the horses that LSU has. With that said, they're a very dangerous team, and I don't see, I could be wrong, I don't see them having anybody just explode for 25 points. If Florida's going to win this game, it's got to be 5 guys in double figures, and then bench production with a couple guys 8 and 6. They've got a star in Colin Castleton, a big man that could certainly end up being the best player on the floor tonight. But to me, Florida is one of those where they're best when everybody contributes on the offensive end.
I want to ask you about Castleton. Dane Bradshaw is our guest from the SEC Network. He's on Twitter at Dane Bradshaw. Look, Efton Reed had a hell of a time with Walker Kessler. They got Sheboy from Kentucky in early foul trouble, and then Reed himself was in foul trouble against Tennessee on Saturday. At what point, first of all, I don't know how much you've gotten to see of Reed, but how do you think that LSU in the front court matches up with Castleton? How do they limit him? I mean, he's a 15-9 guy. How do they limit his impact in this ball game?
Well, I've had Florida earlier in the year, and I think, one of the things that you have to do is, and they'll use Castleton in different ways, but they'll reverse the ball to him at the high post. He's a good passer. He's really skilled. He can get from the three-point line. He's just very efficient. Rip through one dribble, go dunk the ball. Mm-hmm. You have to try to, with speed and athleticism, deny him the ball in that reversal and treat him almost like a primary ball handler at the top of the key. And I think that's where that link in the switching of LSU could really bother not only the number of touches Castleton gets, but the quality of them too. How far can you push him out? Okay, maybe you didn't deny the reversal, but when he got the ball, he's closer to half court than the three-point line. So those are the types of things that I think you look at, because and when he does get the ball in good position, whether it's on the perimeter or down low, he's got really good fundamentals. He's got one of the best pivot foots you'll see in the game. I rarely compliment somebody's pivot ability, but he kind of reminds you a little bit of a Pau Gasol. He just kind of he's thin down there, and so at first you kind of think maybe he's soft, I can punk him, but then you realize, wait, he's pretty agile, holds his own, and he's not gonna get bullied down there. And 6'11", 230, I think he's got underrated toughness and can score over either shoulder.
Can LSU look? LSU's been great defensively all year. I know we talked about this last time we were on, and you'd mentioned you want to see a little more. We've seen it now early in conference play. They've kept up this pace. How do you think LSU defensively matches up against this Florida team?
Well, and I think because when I look at Florida, they just don't have a lot of guys that can create their own shot, and so they need to be set up a little bit more. Now, with that in mind, I think if Florida can keep this game 70 and under, they've got a shot. I think if it starts to get beyond that, that's where there's a little bit of trouble for the Gators. And but I think Mike White's a good strategic coach as well, and you try to figure out, okay, where can we try to take advantage of some of the switching of LSU? And one thing I think they've done a good job of, because it was a long time ago, but I played for Bruce Pearl, and we did a lot of switching. But what would happen to us is sometimes we would call it in the film room, he'd get mad, he'd say, we're just doing convenient switching. You can't just be there standing, pointing, saying, oh, my guy's running over there, I'll just sit tight and call out the switch. I mean, you got to stay with them and almost be a hand touch away from your teammate and then pass them off. I think LSU's done a good job of not doing, what I would call lazy, convenient switching, and it's much more aggressive, opportunistic.
When you threw out Florida and the point total, like, do you know the stat, the Florida point total stat this year?
If you give me a second, I will, but no.
So Florida,
Florida
is 0-5 this year, all 5 losses, when they've allowed their opponent to score 69 or more. So essentially, if LSU hits that 70 threshold, I mean, the numbers tell you this year that they're going to win, especially with the way LSU's played defense. So can LSU score 70 tonight?
Feel good. I gave you the 70 point. I didn't even know the stat.
That's what I'm saying, dude. You nailed it. Like you were on the number. So that's why I thought you threw it out there. So I mean, you were on the number. So what do you think? Like, is this LSU team? Like, would you expect them to go to Gainesville tonight and score 70? Because if they do, they're going to win.
Yes, I think they can. Now, without Pinson, though, again, that just creates a different dynamic. And LSU's coming off just a heck of a week emotionally, and I think that's the other challenge, too, that I know Will Wade gets out ahead of. But sometimes, when you come off of those back-to-back type ranked victories and all the good things that have happened to you, and as you know, everybody telling you how great you are, this and that, it doesn't mean it's necessarily gotten to their head. I think if they go out and lay an egg, it doesn't mean they got cocky. It's just one of those things where, it is emotionally draining, all those, extracurricular things and the media opportunities, the celebrations, all those things can wear on you a little bit to where, whether you want to call it a hangover effect or not. And look, bottom line is they're going to drop a couple games on the road, and that Florida wouldn't be the worst loss in the world without Pinson. And so, if they can't hit that 70 mark and pull off a victory, I wouldn't be shocked. I'd still favor them a little bit, but I do think Florida can be good at controlling that tempo and limiting the number of possessions in a game. And I think that's where Florida might have to play a little bit of boring basketball just to try to keep it under that 70 threshold. Because, when you talk about getting the point total, the first way to try to keep that point total low for the opponent is just simply have less possessions in a game.
Right.
Right. So you take a little clock out, you run some weave action at the top, window dressing type stuff, and try to go score when it's 10 and under.
All right, before you go, I think we would all agree that Auburn's the best team in the conference, or arguably the best team in the country. Where is LSU in the SEC? If you had to hammer out the pecking order right now.
Boy, I think they are probably. I don't know if they'll stay there. I would call them tied for second right now with Kentucky. Okay. I've had, of course, you say, well, we beat Kentucky. I know at home, and Wheeler is so good for Kentucky, and Ty Washington is too. That at Rupp and then neutral floor, I think they end up that'd be a close rubber match there on a neutral court. So I got them right up there with Kentucky, and Alabama's trying to figure it out. I thought that was just not to dodge the question about where LSU is. I do think they're tied for second, but what a win for Auburn.
Yep.
I mean, to win that on the road at Alabama, because when it's packed like that, to me, that's like a +6 or so advantage to the home team with just the crowd and the noise and the environment. And, they rallied at the end. They tie the game, and Auburn handles it. You're right. They might, with the way Baylor losing the other night, and Auburn going on the road to Ole Miss on Saturday, there's a chance Auburn could be ranked number 1 in the country come Monday. I don't know if they're the best team in the country. I don't know if I'd predict them to be national champs, but with a resume and the record and where we stand, mid-January, Auburn Tigers might have number 1 next to their name come early next week.
Dane, it was crazy. I mean, to watch that finish the way it did last night, to see Bama tie, and then to have 4 possessions in a tie game and come up empty on 4 possessions with a chance to take the lead was kind of bonkers. But, I mean, it goes to show you how good Auburn is right now. I don't think there's any debating
The
there.
defense in the league is really good. I hate to always say it's the best I can remember because, I hadn't really thought about it that
no,
much.
it's fair.
But, I mean, Tennessee's defense is top 5 in the country. LSU is nuts. Let me tell you, Kentucky plays their guts off, and then you got Auburn. I mean, these top teams in the league right now, as much as we're talking about the game evolving, we're spreading you out, shooting threes, getting to the rim, all those other things, analytics, there's an old-fashioned get down and guard the ball that's happening right now in the SEC amongst their top teams.
That's why you're probably looking at 6 or 7 tournament teams come March. We're looking forward to it. And we'll look. It's basketball season. We were calling you before basketball. We'll keep calling you here.
But you guys were searching for distractions this football season, so I'll give you some credit.
Okay, all right, that's fair. Fair, but hey, but the distraction was a coaching search and a new hire and all that stuff. So in fairness, it works both ways.
Sure you got. I'm sure you got the ratings to prove it, and I hope they're paying big money to have advertisers on your show. You deserve every penny.
We're doing okay, Dane. I appreciate it, man. Thanks so much. All the best.
Tom, thanks.
All right, that's Dane Bradshaw, SEC Network. It's after further review. We'll go around the SEC Bourbon Dictionary in 15 minutes. Stick around.
AFR.
Brought to you by River City's 1 Hour Air, where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime. 752-0001. 752-0001. That's where you'll find our friends at River City's 1 Hour Air. Remember, at River City's 1 Hour Air, they are hiring. So new year, new career. If you're looking for a new career, new opportunity, give our friends at River City's 1 Hour Air a call. The best benefits you'll find in the market. And they never just hire seasonally. So if you want a career instead of just a job, River City's 1 Hour Air. And they always have such great testimonials. This one came from Lisa Delonis. She said, had a great experience with this company. They were very professional and courteous. From the first phone call until the work was completed, they came on a weekend with no extra charge and arrived in about 2 hours after my call. Everything was explained, completed in about an hour and a half. Russell was very kind and professional. Thanks for a job well done. Nights, holidays, weekends, they always come out, and they never charge you extra. It's River City's 1 Hour Air, 752-0001, where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Our topic today is about savings. What is savings?
Hancock Whitney isn't just a bank for our clients. We're investing in our hometowns, making life better for everyone. So keep dreaming. We've got your back.
I had to pack up all my things. I had to leave my home. And I never knew where I was going next. It felt like I never even had a say. But then you came along.
Change a child's story. There's a child in foster care waiting for a volunteer like you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Bayou Ford has 0% for 60 months on new Ford F-150s. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. And now 0% for 60 months on Ford F-150.
Failure happens to us all. But it's our champions. After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Flucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Flucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
A Bourbon Dictionary with Taylor Calandro, a little more than 10 minutes from right now. Get your questions in. Email us, tweet us, jump in the Bayou Ford YouTube chat, or you can text us in the 225-396-4400, 396-4400. That's the text line. It's on my phone. You can text me anytime. 225-396-4400, 396-4400. Your questions for Taylor coming up here shortly. Thanks to Dane Bradshaw for jumping aboard with us. Ross Dellenger will be here in hour number 3. Looking forward to having Delly here. He was there covering the national championship game. He was also covering the college football playoff meetings. So want some perspective on where college football stands with respect to its postseason. That's coming up with Delly at straight up 5 o'clock Central Time. Right now, though, let's go around the SEC.
Around the SEC, presented by Gulf Coast Office Products, excellence in imaging solutions. The Alabama Crimson Tide.
Wide receiver Jamison Williams did, in fact, tear his ACL in his left knee on Monday night during the national championship game. Expected to have surgery within the next 10 days. That's according to Adam Schefter. Doctors do expect a full recovery. Mel Kiper had Williams rated as the number 1 wide receiver, the number 6 overall prospect in the draft. So, how far will he slide? A major question as we head into this spring's draft. But Jamison Williams does, in fact, have a torn ACL.
The Ole Miss Rebels.
Ole Miss is expected to host Southern Cal transfer quarterback Jackson Dart beginning on Thursday. Dart's visit will coincide with his USC teammate, tight end Michael Trigg, who's also in the transfer portal. 2 were roommates this last season at USC, so maybe they'll transfer together to Oxford. Ole Miss unsuccessfully pursued quarterback Dylan Gabriel, Cameron Ward, and Caleb Williams, so they continue to search. They're looking for Matt Corral's replacement. True freshman Luke Altmaier would be the guy if they can't land a transfer. Dart is expected to take a visit to Oklahoma after visiting Ole Miss.
The Auburn Tigers.
Junior edge defender Eku Leota, former Northwestern transfer, announced he will return to Auburn for his senior season. He's the 4th major piece of Auburn's defense to announce they're returning for 2022, joining linebacker Owen Popoe and defensive lineman Colby Wooten, fellow edge rusher Derek Hall. I think it's actually Owen Papo. I've mispronounced his name for a long time. My apologies. 6'4", 240, second on the team with 7 sacks. Big get there for the defense at Auburn.
The Mississippi State Bulldogs.
Mississippi State football picked up a couple of transfers. West Virginia cornerback Jackie Matthews announced early in the day on Tuesday, and then later it was receiver Jordan Mosley from Northwestern. He'll have 4 seasons of eligibility remaining. He was a 4-star recruit out of Mississippi when he signed with Northwestern. 6 foot, 190-pounder.
The Georgia Bulldogs.
And Georgia already reaping the fruits of their labor. Tight end Lawson Lucky has committed to Georgia. He's a 4-star. Son of Georgia legacy, Mike Lucky. 6'4", 225. It said that he had his commitment date, or the process, set in stone for some time now, but conveniently waited until shortly after the national championship game to announce. He's the number 14 tight end in the country, the 283rd overall prospect for the class of 2023. On the hardwood Tuesday night in the Southeastern Conference, like we mentioned with Dane Bradshaw, Auburn went into Coleman Coliseum and outlasted Alabama 81-77. The Otters crying. Do you have the wrong horn? Hit me with the X if you got it. If you can. I can go here. Okay. Otter gave you Bama, laying the 3. Sorry, I took it. Kentucky, they blasted Vanderbilt. Otter also gave you Vanderbilt. Just low. Okay. Tennessee won at home against South Carolina by 20, 66-46, and A&M won at home against Ole Miss by 16, 67-51. All right, there you have it. That is Around the SEC, presented by Gulf Coast Office Products. A real quick reminder, 5:30 today, so a little less than 2 hours from right now, we'll draw for tomorrow night's game. So tomorrow night, the Pelicans are at home against the Clippers. Gulf Coast Office Products raffling off. It's the third pair of tickets. The final one is going to be Feb 8 against the Rockets, but tomorrow is the next one. So go to 1045ESPN.com. Right there on the flipper on the homepage, courtside for charity. Tap the link. It's $20 a chance. You have until 5:30 to enter. You could also buy 6 chances for $100 or 15 chances for $250, and all of the money raised is going to be divided evenly among 4 great charities: St. Lillian Academy, the Arc of Baton Rouge, the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, and Alzheimer's Services of the capital area. So we'll draw at 5:30 for the game tomorrow night. I've told you so many times by now, if you've never sat on the floor for an NBA game, there is just nothing like it. It doesn't matter if you like the NBA. It doesn't matter if you like the Pelicans or the Clippers. The experience of sitting in a chair on the floor for an NBA game, there's just nothing like it. So here's your chance. $20 a chance at 1045ESPN.com. Click the courtside for charity link on the flipper on the homepage. And let's raise some money for some great charities. If you've already bought a ticket, you're entered for this game already, but you can certainly buy more tickets. And you're also entered for the next game as well, February 8th against the Rockets. So we'll draw at 5:30 today for tomorrow's game against the Clippers. Okay, it's After Further Review. Thanks for being here. We'll knock out a quick break. Taylor Calandro will be here for a little Bourbon Dictionary. Anything you want to ask Taylor about booze, here's your chance to get it in. Bourbon Dictionary to wrap up hour number 1 is next.
AFR.
Hey, if you need dinner plans tonight, Ichiban. Always a great option. Voted by you the best sushi and best hibachi in the Best of 225 awards. Remember, they have got award-winning sushi, creative specialty rolls, the freshest fish, and really any type of dining experience. If you want to belly up to the bar, if you want to sit at the sushi bar and have a more casual dining experience while they roll the sushi, you want to have a fun experience with hibachi, that's an option as well. Or just a romantic or elegant dinner at a comfortable table, low lit. It's a beautiful place to enjoy a great dinner at Ichiban. And from our friends at Ichiban, their latest concept is Bo-Ru Ramen in Electric Depot on Government Street. With all of the cold weather that's rolling through here, sometimes a hot bowl of ramen is perfect on a cold night. This is authentic Japanese ramen, handmade noodles. You will not find it better anywhere in town. It's Bo-Ru Ramen. Check them out tonight. It's Bo-Ru Ramen in Electric Depot on Government Street.
Bayou Ford has 0% for 60 months on new Ford F-150s. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. And now 0% for 60 months on Ford F-150s. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
6G. Network.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you were born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
I had to pack up all my things. I had to leave my home. And I never knew where I was going next. It felt like I never even had a say. But then you came along.
Change a child's story. There's a child in foster care waiting for a volunteer like you.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
They're the gang with the slang. This is Bourbon Dictionary with Matt Moscona and Taylor Calandro.
All right, let's do it. Whiskey Wednesday, got booze questions fire away. Taylor Calandro, Wine and Spirits Director over at Calandro's, joins us now as he does each Wednesday. How are you, dude?
Good, man. What's up?
Another day, another dollar, so another dram. So we got some good news, yeah?
The Pappy allocations are starting to float around Baton Rouge.
Very nice.
Yeah.
It's about time. So what can you tell us about said allocations?
They're kind of slim.
Okay.
Slim pickings.
You kind of expect that though, right? With COVID and everything that's gone over, over the last year and a half.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, it's a little lighter than usual, and I've talked to several other people around town, stores and restaurants that have both that have told me that it's a little lighter this year. So disappointing, but it is what it is.
Well, that allocation will be part of the Calandro's Rare Whiskey Raffle, which we said is going to be February
3rd.
The 3rd.
Yeah, and we're going to probably put something out on social media Monday.
All right, so. February 3rd. It's going to be virtual again here in our 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge studio. So, is that a Thursday, by the way?
It is a Thursday, okay. And there's going to be a watch party at a local bar that we're trying to set up too. So,
cool.
I'll have more information about that in the next couple of weeks.
Fantastic. So we'll have information on how you can buy your tickets. Remember, it benefits charity, and you have an opportunity to maybe score a great bottle of a rare allocated whiskey. So we're looking forward to that. What else is new here that we've gotten into the new year?
It's been a slow start to the new year. I mean, we've been doing inventory and everything. Finally finished that today, but we should have a Buffalo Trace barrel pick coming through the door either by the end of this week or early next week. So be on the lookout on social media for that.
When was the last time you all did a Buffalo Trace pick?
It's been about a year since we had one from Sazerac in general. So
okay.
it was the last holidays, I think. It's been a while. So.
All right. Y'all know the drill. You got questions for Taylor, fire away. You can email me, Matt at 1045ESPN.com. You can tweet me at Matt Moscona.
Hey, Twitter world.
Hey, Juice. You can jump in the Bayou Ford YouTube chat and the Watch 1045 ESPN YouTube channel. You can always text your question to 225. It's 396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. Ethan Mott says, does Calandro's on government have anything from Sugarfield?
I don't know. They should. The last time I was there, they did. I don't get to that side of the city very often.
Mm-hmm.
But the last time I was there, they did have a couple different things.
Can you elaborate a little bit on Sugarfield? Because that's local, right?
Yeah. Sugarfield is based out of Prairieville, I guess. I think it's Prairieville or Gonzales.
Mm-hmm.
I've been to it. I don't know where it is, but they make rum in-house. They've been sourcing their whiskey, but I think they're starting to make whiskey in-house. And they make a couple different liqueurs too, and they're all really good. The guys over there, Andrew and his brother, they do a really good job. So I highly suggest their products if you see them on the shelf.
Someone asked about the coffee whiskey from Slow and Low Rock and Rye. Have you had it?
I haven't heard of that. No, I haven't heard of it yet.
Either. Have you had Slow and Low Rock and Rye?
Oh, it's unbelievably good.
I know. Do you like the 84 proof or the 100 proof better?
I like the 100 proof, but I like higher proof stuff. I think I've burnt my taste buds up.
And the odd thing about Slow and Low Rock and Rye is, like, it almost tastes like a pre-made old fashioned, which it's got like rock candy in it, stuff like that. But and normally that wouldn't suit my sensibilities, but it's really fantastic. The orange label is the 100 proof, the black label is the 84 proof.
Yeah, and the black label is what you will see on the shelf 90% of the time. The orange label is a little harder to find. But no, I mean, it's good for what it is. It's good, and it's actually really popular too.
Eric said, "Have you tried Chattanooga whiskey?"
Yes, Chattanooga whiskey. I've only tried one. It was 111 proof. Fantastic. You see Chattanooga whiskey, don't sleep on it.
What's the backstory there? I don't know that I've even heard of it.
I don't know exactly what the backstory is, but I have tried one of them, and it is very, very good. It was one of the better bourbons that I tried last year, actually.
Let's see. This is from Danielle Rumpf, said, looking for a good Japanese whiskey. Any recommendations?
I've said them before on the show. If you can find like a Yamazaki 12, you won't find a Yamazaki 18. Or Hakushu makes really good stuff too, or Hibiki. Any one of those.
Is Japanese whiskey more rice based in the mash bill?
That's a good question. I don't think necessarily. No, I don't think that's the case. They still use a lot of grain, like American whiskey producers and Scottish too. So I don't know. I'm sure they do have a lot of rice situations with their stuff, but I think that like the stuff I'm talking about, I don't think it has rice in it.
Jeremy said, ask Taylor, what's the best whiskey to introduce the wife to, who mostly drinks white wine?
Oh, that's going to be a big jump. I would suggest like Basil Hayden. I always suggest that for beginner bourbon drinkers. It's a lower proof, and it's quote unquote smooth. I hate using that word, but it's smooth, and it's got pretty good flavor too.
Why do you hate using the word smooth?
I don't know. It's just such a generic term, and I don't like when other people tell me something's smooth. That doesn't really describe the whiskey to me.
That's fair. I would just ask you to elaborate why, and I tend to agree actually. It's just a super generic term. Yes, you can be far more descriptive than just saying smooth. Generally, it just means like there's a high level of drinkability. I think people mean like it's not going to burn their throat whenever they drink it.
For time purposes, I say smooth, but we're wasting a ton of time talking about it.
Okay. James Tyrone said, good stuff, and he sent me a picture. This is a Calumet 14. What do you think?
I like Calumet stuff. I haven't got to try the 14 yet. I've tried the little oval bottle, like their everyday flagship whiskey.
Yeah.
But I have not got a chance to try the Calumet. I've heard it's decent, but I haven't got the chance to try it yet.
So I actually have a bottle of the 15. I won it with my bourbon bet with Mac Chiwilli from Traction this past year. So that was a freebie for me because some people are honorable and actually do pay off their bets, unlike that clown Dwayne from Thibodeau who still owes me $500. But if you want to try the 15 year, I've got a bottle and I would happily give you.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Share.
I haven't got a chance to try that.
All right, let's see. Last one. Jonathan Day said, I'm looking for a rye recommendation under 100. I guess it means under $100, other than Sazerac, which I love, he says.
Why don't you get you a Whistle Pig 10 year? I absolutely love Whistle Pig. If you're going to spend the money, get a Whistle Pig 10.
Whistle Pig 10 was the thing that got me started on rye. I went I spoiled myself early with rye by drinking Whistle Pig 10, but it always has a spot in it. And
so good.
My opinion is the value for the 10 year is better than what you would pay for the 12 or the 15, which are far more expensive. I
was actually sipping on one of our old barrel picks, a 10 year this weekend, the whole weekend. Fantastic stuff.
It never stopped. All weekend, just kept sipping the 10 year. All right, we got to bounce.
Weekend.
He is Taylor Calandro, Wine and Spirits Director over at Calandro's 2 locations in Baton Rouge. Joins us every Wednesday for Whiskey Wednesday. It's Bourbon Dictionary. Thank you, dude.
All right, Matt. Thank you.
All right, man. We'll be in touch soon. Let y'all have more information about the raffle, which will be coming up again February the 3rd, how you can get tickets, how you can watch, participate, all that good stuff, and, of course, raise money for great charities. We're looking forward to that. Hey, remember, 6:45 tonight, I'll be over at Yoga Studio 90. It's free class. Come join me. Hour 2 is coming up next. Stay here.
AFR.
Michelli Weighing and Measurement celebrating 75 years. Michelli.com. Check them out online, Michelli.com. You know the drill, where to find them, Michelli.com. And all this month, by the way, really all this year, our friends over at Michelli are going to be pointing out parts of their historical past. I saw this tweet pop up on my timeline today, and I absolutely loved it. It's a picture of their original location by Pell Equipment Companies, the 600 square feet of office on Palmyra Street in New Orleans, a picture from 1942. Look at that. That's incredible. Just amazing. So they were an exact weight scale dealer, later added material handling and food processing. Pell would become a GT Michelli company, which is now Michelli Weighing and Measurement. A little walk down memory lane and a touch into their history as Michelli celebrates 75 years in business. Certainly a major congratulations on that milestone, and we're thrilled to endorse Michelli Weighing and Measurement. Check them out online at Michelli.com.
Our topic today is about savings. What is savings?
Hancock Whitney isn't just a bank for our clients. We're investing in our hometowns, making life better for everyone. So keep dreaming. We've got your back.
Bayou Ford has 0% for 60 months on new Ford F-150s. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. And now 0% for 60 months on Ford F-150s. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
SportsCenter. I'm Doug Brown. 74-year-old Duke head coach Mike Krzyzewski is out for tonight's game at Wake Forest. He has a non-COVID-19 related illness. John Shire, who will be the next Blue Devils head coach next season, takes over the team tonight. The Packers are sitting out the first week of the playoffs as the top seed in the NFC, and quarterback Aaron Rodgers says his left pinky toe should be 100% by the time the team plays in the divisional round. Rodgers broke that toe in November while he was in COVID-19 quarantine. On Sunday, the Cowboys host the 49ers for a wild card game. Dallas coach Mike McCarthy talks about his quarterback, Dak Prescott.
His preparation never wavers. He was in here yesterday doing some personal work, fundamentally. So he's got a plan all the time. I think the most important, not only for Dak, for all of our guys, is, just be who you are. And we want the best you this week, and that's what we're working towards.
The Buccaneers have reworked Ndamukong Suh's contract, allowing him to collect up to $1 million in incentives during the playoffs.
The new Venture X card from Capital One. Earn 10x miles on hotels and rental cars and 5x miles on flights when you book through Capital One Travel, plus 2x miles on all other purchases. Capital One. What's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge Studios. That's right.
Hour 2, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Pluckers. I'm Matt.
I appreciate it, bud. Have a good one.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Yusuf. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there, make it a good one. Ross Dellenger, 1 hour from right now. 90 minutes from right now, we'll have the drawing for the next Courtside for Charity game. It's tomorrow night, Pels Clippers. If you want to win those tickets, $20 a chance. You can buy your ticket at 1045ESPN.com. The Saints are heading into this offseason looking at a lot of free agent questions. There are 18 players on this roster that are free agents, most notably among them Teron Armstead, Jameis Winston, Marcus Williams. There are some big questions that are going to be answered about this roster, and some big-name players on this roster as we move into the future and what all will be ahead. None bigger, obviously, than what's going to happen at quarterback. Do you re-sign Jameis Winston? I think that's where you start. Are you re-signing Jameis Winston? And a lot of that's going to depend on maybe some ancillary things. But remember, you're going to hit free agency before you hit the draft. So you may have to make that decision. You will have to make that decision before you get to the draft. Are you able to work a deal when the league year begins to trade for one of the free agents that's out there? Or to make it, not for a free agent, to make a trade for a player? We talked about Aaron Rodgers. We talked a lot about Russell Wilson. Some of you have mentioned, what about Baker Mayfield? Even though the Browns have publicly committed to him today, Jimmy G, or the Niners moving on with Trey Lance. All of those are very real questions that need to be out there. I guess out of obligation, I could mention Deshaun Watson, but realistically, I don't think that the Saints have enough draft capital to be able to trade for a guy like Deshaun Watson. But we'll find out in time. The other option, of course, is drafting a quarterback. And as we move through this draft process, it's going to be very interesting, the pre-draft process, with things like the Senior Bowl and the Combine. It's going to be fascinating to watch which quarterbacks emerge. And it always happens. And right now, when you look at most mock drafts, you don't see a quarterback in the top 10. Somewhere in the just after 10 or in the early teens is where you'll find the likes of Matt Corral and Kenny Pickett. And somewhere along the way, you might find Malik Willis. You just don't see a glut of quarterbacks in this draft. There isn't the Trevor Lawrence, the Joe Burrow, the Kyler Murray, the Baker Mayfield, the guy that's the no doubt top of the draft, going to be the first overall pick type guy. It's not to say that they're all going to go on to great careers. It's just going into the draft process. A lot of times we know that there are certain guys that are going to be at the top of the draft. So the Saints are going to have an interesting question because they're picking at a spot in the draft at 18 where there very likely is going to be a quarterback there for them. And the question is, do you use that 18th pick to draft a quarterback of the future if that player is there that you really like? Or do you re-sign one of Jameis Winston as a free agent, or do you make a deal for a veteran player, and then you address quarterback through the draft maybe another year if you feel like there's a better opportunity? And I bring this up today because I came across a mock draft, and it was USA Today's mock draft, and there's some interesting things, some that aren't surprising at all. They've got Kayvon Thibodeau as the number 1 overall pick, Aiden Hutchinson 2 to the Lions, Evan Neal 3 to the Texans. Unfortunately, they have Derek Stingley 4th to the Jets. That's wonderful for Stingley to be 4th. Going to the Jets is disappointing, although that would put him in the media capital of the world there in New York City. But again, that also underscores essentially the same thing we saw last year with Jamar Chase, which is if you are a dynamic player, if you are a transcendent type player, it doesn't matter if you're injured or you opt out, NFL teams are going to buy you. And that's what's going to happen with Derek Stingley there. As I scroll through this draft, though, I was a little disheartened when I saw Matt Corral 11 to the Washington football team, because if there was one player, I've said many times, there's one player in this draft at quarterback that I would be willing to use a first-round pick on, it would be Matt Corral. But alas, USA Today does not have the Saints taking Matt Corral. They do, however, have the Saints taking a quarterback, and that's Kenny Pickett from Pitt. The write-up very quickly says, Sean Payton seemingly pushed New Orleans as far as it could go without some semblance of consistency at quarterback. Identifying more than a patchwork solution has to be the foremost concern this offseason, and Payton won't find a better package of experience and accuracy in the draft than Pickett. The 4-year starter's accelerating growth into a Heisman Trophy finalist highlighted that he can thrive in a scheme that helps him harness his aggressiveness. So that's a very positive write-up. But if Kenny Pickett were that good, why is he being mocked in the low teens? You see, that's the problem that I'm going to run into. And it's not to say that you can't find the guy middle or late round 1 that becomes the guy. I mean, Lamar Jackson's a great example of that. He was at the end of round 1, became an MVP. Those guys are there, undeniably. But if I'm going to take a quarterback in round 1, it's most likely going to be a scenario where I'm minimizing risk. And I'll say this again, and I'm going to say it 1,000,000 times more between now and the draft, because I don't want there to be any confusion with where you understand my stance is on this. If the Saints decide to take a quarterback in round 1, I'm good with it because I trust Sean Payton. I trust his evaluation of that position to know what he's looking for and what player can thrive in his system. I had no problem with them taking Ian Book in round 4. If that's a player they thought they had great value there and maybe could mold as a project into, look, we saw with Russell Wilson as a 3rd-round pick who became the guy. Will Ian Book ever be that? I don't know, but I trust Sean Payton to give it a go. So if Sean Payton sees a guy in round 1 that he likes and takes him, I'm going to be okay with it because I trust Sean Payton. But this really popped into my brain because on Tuesday shows, Larry Holder was here and we started talking about Kenny Pickett. And I pointed out the fact that Pickett really was not only not well known, but just wasn't very productive of a player in his career up until his 5th year. And he retorted with, well, what about Joe Burrow? And that's true. But Joe Burrow sat at Ohio State behind really talented players. Kenny Pickett had been playing at Pitt throughout his career. The other part of it, too, is we saw Joe Burrow's emergence lead to him being the, no doubt, number 1 overall pick in the draft. He was a transcendent player his final year at LSU that led everybody to look at him and go, yep, we want that guy. And why he became the 1st overall pick in the draft and why he's now leading Cincinnati to a division championship in year 2 and into the playoffs. When I look at Kenny Pickett, he's in his 5th season. And he's in his 4th year as a starter. And in this season, his 5th year, he doubled his yardage total effectively. Now, he had 160 more attempts, so he had 130 more completions. They changed their offense. They became more wide open, and naturally, you saw what happened. They threw it more, and he had more statistical success. And they, as a team, had more success. He's 6'3", 220, so he's a big guy with a big arm, and he's aggressive and all that stuff. And I do think that he is a winning player. But he feels more to me not like first-rounder Joe Burrow. He feels more to me like first-rounder Blaine Gabbert. He feels more to me like first-rounder Daniel Jones. He feels more to me like first-rounder Christian Ponder or Jake Locker or E.J. Manuel, the guy who has the measurables, threw for a bunch of yards, won games, and so people looked and said, yep, that's going to be our guy. And it didn't really materialize. That's where I am with Kenny Pickett. Now, there is a possibility that he could be first-rounder Josh Allen, a guy who's a big dude with a big arm who went largely unnoticed throughout his career. Remember Josh Allen? Wyoming, goes to the Senior Bowl, and just was the best quarterback there at the Senior Bowl. First-round draft pick solidified there. Now look at what he's doing there with the Bills. I mean, he had them in the AFC Championship game a year ago. So maybe that's Pickett as well. I'm just not there on Pickett. I've told you before, the one quarterback that I would be okay with the Saints taking in round 1 at this point would be Matt Corral. His size does concern me, as we saw evidence in the Sugar Bowl. He runs, he will put his body out there, and when you're not huge, you run the risk of being injured. So that, yes, that is a concern, candidly. But I also believe he has all the intangibles, the moxie, the feeling, the leadership, all that sort of stuff, and the physical ability, arm strength, accuracy, to be a great NFL player in this modern NFL. I'm not sure if I have that with Kenny Pickett. So I need to see. He's, to me, the most fascinating player in this draft because I think it's the most important position in all team sports. We know that. And he's a guy that really has a very small sample of elite-level play. So can you buy him continuing that progression at the next level? With Sean Payton, you could make an argument. Look, Sean Payton won with Teddy Bridgewater and won with Taysom Hill. And I mean, you could win with almost anybody out there. But can you win championships? Will you be a championship contender with him? And I'm not sold there. So this offseason, this Senior Bowl, this combine is going to be massive to watch how this all evolves as the evaluation goes with Kenny Pickett. Because I think where the Saints are picking, you're going to see more mock drafts that have Kenny Pickett to the Saints at 18. And that's something we really have to start to consider and discuss because it's a position of need, obviously. It's a player that is much talked about that is likely going to be on the board there. And so you're going to see a lot of this conversation. So we'll be paying attention to it. Could Kenny Pickett be the Saints quarterback of the future? For me, that's a non-starter. But I'm willing to be convinced as we move through this process. We'll certainly keep our eye on it. All right, we're brought to you by GMFS Mortgage, gmfsmortgage.com. Changing lives since 1999. Home buy, refi, construction loans, gmfsmortgage.com. If you're listening in New Orleans, no worries. If you're listening in Alexandria, you too. Shreveport, Bossier, Bunkie, Baton Rouge, Lake Charles, Lafayette, Luling, wherever you are. All over the state of Louisiana, GMFS Mortgage is here for you. There's a local loan officer near you, so get to the website at gmfsmortgage.com and find that local loan officer. Change your life today. Refinance your mortgage, lower your monthly mortgage payment, save money, shorten the life of your mortgage, skip a payment or two. There's ways to do it, and GMFS Mortgage has that expertise. Let them hold your hand through it, just like they did me and Erica a year ago. We skipped 2 mortgage payments, shaved 5 years off the life of our mortgage, and saved $400 a month on our mortgage payment. We were thrilled. You could be as well. GMFSmortgage.com. GMFS Mortgage, changing lives. All right, glad you're hanging out with us here. I'm going to keep reminding you, as soon as the show ends, I'm getting over to Yoga Studio 90. We have Meet Matt on the Mat tonight at 6:45. Totally free class. If you want to join, they're on Highlandia, which runs parallel to I-10 right off of Highland. Basically where Blue Bayou is, it's the other side of I-10 from Blue Bayou. So anyway, come out and join us tonight at Yoga Studio 90. Totally free class. You can find out what it's all about. I'll be there at 6:45, so come join us. All right, we'll knock out a quick break. When we come back, we already know that one LSU player, Elias Ricks, is going to Alabama, and that there has been a massive exodus of players from the LSU program, but that's not unique to LSU. 7 Alabama players entered the portal yesterday, and I think there's 2 that LSU should target. I'll tell you who they are next on AFR.
AFR.
Better coverage for less money. I'll tell you every single day. Better coverage for less money. That's Insurance Network of Louisiana. Why are you waiting? Please don't. Please don't wait. Call Insurance Network of Louisiana. I love sharing great testimonials. How about this one that I got from Jay? AFR listener named Jeffrey. Listens every day. Said so please mention his name on air. Been with Allstate for 13 years. Was paying way too much. Jeffrey and his wife, they were able to double their auto coverage. Reduce their hurricane deductible from $10,000 to $2,500, added an umbrella policy, and still saved $1,758. Again, doubled auto coverage, reduced hurricane deductible, added an umbrella, better coverage, saved $1,758 a year. Better coverage for less money. Stop overpaying to be underinsured. Let Insurance Network of Louisiana shop. 293-0450.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
I've got that blue sky. I've got that sunshine.
Yo, Jake here from Patient Plus Urgent Care Clinic, reminding you they now have 8 convenient locations across the Baton Rouge area, open from 9 a.m. until 9 p.m. And if you're looking for that COVID test for holiday travel, or you have a holiday event coming up, they're the place for you, as well as a flu shot. It's starting to creep up here during flu season, so if you need that shot, make sure you get that. They now have some available through December. You can find more information on their website, patientplusuc.com. That's Patient Plus Urgent Care Clinic. Get in and get better.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you were born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
I had to pack up all my things. I had to leave my home. And I never knew where I was going next. It felt like I never even had a say. But then you came along.
Change a child's story. There's a child in foster care waiting for a volunteer like you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to LSU.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
We had a great lunch today over at Plucker's with the king of the wing, Mr. Stevie Levy. LSU Hoops tonight, 6 o'clock. You need a place to watch. Get by either Plucker's location, Nicholson or Bluebonnet. You don't like our wings. We'll give you the bird. Hey, Muse.
What's up?
I got a question for you.
Okay, what you got?
Well, I got this little trivia. It's a football trivia game.
Okay, like player trivia or just trivia about the game of football or
football?
It's kind of
quiz.
generic. I don't
tackle this trivia at your next tailgate. 100 questions. My mother-in-law gave me this. My mother-in-law gave me tackle
this trivia.
Tackle the trivia.
I like it.
It's a pun.
Those are good.
I love puns. My mother-in-law gave me this for Christmas. Like, I got to get real gift, but she was like, I saw this. I thought you'd like it.
Stocking stuffer type thing.
Sort of thing,
maybe?
yeah. So I'm the favorite son-in-law now.
Oh, congratulations.
I'm the only one who got an extra gift.
Oh,
that's totally not true. I'm definitely not the favorite.
I don't know.
Brother James is the favorite by far, by a million miles. Okay, you ready?
James didn't get a gift.
I'm going to give you, see, look, it's 100. Look, what do you know? They're little footballs.
Laces out.
Dan Marino should die of gonorrhea and rot in hell. Okay, so.
Such a good movie.
I'm going to ask you a little football question here. How about this?
Okay.
Hey, Muse.
What's up?
Who is the only person to own a Super Bowl ring and an Academy Award?
Joe Namath? No.
No. Wrong horn, please. Buzzer, please. Please, buzzer yourself. Okay. I think you can get this one. Which famous Pittsburgh Steeler running back was nicknamed the Bus? Oh, Muse. The Bus? The Bus.
The Bus.
Oh, Muse.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Muse, come on. No. Paulie, help him out. Paul, help him out.
That would be Jerome Bettis.
That would be Jerome Bettis. Give Paulie the correct. There you go. That'd be Muse.
Trivia is not
The
necessarily
Bus?
as strong.
That's an
strong.
easy one.
Yeah.
By the way,
trivia is
did you
not
notice? And I did not plan this out, by the way. I swear I didn't. I just randomly pulled one of those cards, but it was very fitting. Jerome Bettis yesterday tweeted a video of himself outside at Notre Dame. He, 27 years after he left Notre Dame for the NFL draft, is going back to finish his degree. So congrats to Jerome Bettis on that. Phenomenal decision by him to go finish his degree. But also, I would like for you to pay attention if you're watching here on the Buy Forward on the Watch 145 ESPN YouTube channel. Jerome Bettis is freezing his ass off. Look at that. He's outside.
Yep.
There's snow everywhere. He's got a hood, jacket, mask on, because it's freezing. That is why Brian Kelly can't recruit good players to South Bend. It is a miserable place to be. And if they have no inherent advantage any longer, that right there is why it's impossible. So you'll get players. You get some players. You're going to go get the best players, bro. All right. Speaking of getting the best players, Alabama certainly has gotten the best players, and their fair share of them over the last 15 years. With Nick Saban's run of terror, having won 6 national titles at Alabama, you all know the story by now. But in the age of the transfer portal, even Alabama is not immune to players transferring. And shortly after they lost the national championship game to Georgia, seven Alabama players jumped into the portal on Tuesday, one day after. Look, they got to make up for lost time. I mean, no one's going to leave the team while you're in the hunt for a championship. But in the time from the end of the season for everybody else to now, these players have lost time. You're planning on transferring. Well, how many other spots have been filled with other players in the portal from Thanksgiving to now? Get it? So that's why it all happened at once. There are 2 players, though, in particular, of the 7, that, in my opinion, LSU needs to target, because it's 2 positions that LSU has of great need. Listen, LSU went into the bowl game with 38 scholarship players. It is so abundantly clear there are massive needs on both sides of the ball. LSU, Ed Ogeron left a dumpster fire, lit the match and walked away. We get it. The roster is in awful shape. He mismanaged it. He didn't recruit to it. He lost guys. He lost his team. People abandoned ship. It's awful. So LSU's got a lot of spots where they need to supplement. Now, I think if they stay healthy, there's some good spots. I like Miles Brennan at quarterback. We've talked about the numbers on the offensive line. You've already added a transfer there, Miles Frazier. I think you're fine at receiver. You've got 4 running backs and the potential to add another if Trevante Citizen signs as a part of this class. Defensively, you got some good defensive tackles. You could use more bodies on the defensive line. And we've talked about the secondary. You have numbers at safety. You have a dearth at cornerback. But 2 positions in particular that they have not yet addressed and need to: tight end, linebacker. And Jaleel Billingsley entered the transfer portal, and so did Drew Sanders. Okay. Let me start with Billingsley. Billingsley, when he came out of high school, was a 4-star tight end. He was the number 11 tight end in the country. He's from Illinois. Now, unfortunately, I went and checked his 247 profile. He did not have a Notre Dame offer. So I don't know that Brian Kelly is enamored, but this is a guy at a massive position of need who is a freakish talent. Right now, the only tight ends that LSU have, Cole Taylor, Jack Mashburn, Mason Taylor. Cole Taylor's entering his third year, and he's most famous for having his shoe thrown. Jack Mashburn's a former walk-on who basically they put him in there to block this past year. Did a great job, but let's not kid ourselves. And then Mason Taylor is an incoming freshman. You have nothing at tight end. Nothing. And Jack Besh is a receiver. So I'm talking about traditional tight end. You have a chance to add a guy like Billingsley, you do it. And yes, this is a guy that was often a discussion piece in Alabama circles because people wondered why they didn't see him more. Nick Saban talked throughout the season about buy-in and not having that from Billingsley. So there might be some personality stuff there that all might be very real. But if you're LSU today, you're willing to punt that. You're willing to push that aside because you're not looking for a long-term solution. You're looking for a stopgap. You're looking for someone to fill that spot year one for 1 year, and LSU has immediate playing time available for a guy like that. So, yes. And the sell to Jaleel Billingsley is pretty easy if you're Brian Kelly. You say, Jaleel. Hi, Brian Kelly. Nice to meet you. You might have heard I do a great Southern accent, and I don't believe that people from Boston have accents. Maybe you even saw my wicked dance moves on Twitter. Have a seat. Let's have a conversation. So, Jaleel, let me see. It says here that you play tight end. Is that correct? Oh, great. I'm not sure how familiar you are with my decade-long tenure at Notre Dame, but in that time, here's the list of the tight ends that were drafted from my program. Kyle Rudolph, Tyler Eifert, Troy Nicholas, Ben Koyak, Durham Smythe, Alize Mack, Cole Kmet, Tommy Tremble. Yep. I've had eight tight ends drafted from my time at Notre Dame. 8 drafted. Has LSU had 8 tight ends drafted in their history? I legit don't think so. It would be close. 8 tight ends drafted in Brian Kelly's 12 years at Notre Dame. What tight end wouldn't see that and go, yep, I can play for that guy? Jaleel Billingsley. That's one. Two is Drew Sanders. Now, he is being projected in the portal to Texas. Steve Sarkisian was at Alabama and is now the head coach at Texas, and maybe that's exactly where he's going to land. I could check to see if there's been an update since I prepped this out earlier today, and maybe that is exactly where he lands. I don't know. I sure hope not. All right, he has not yet committed anywhere. Some have him crystal ball to Texas. Others are saying that Oklahoma should be considered the favorite. Either way, Drew Sanders was a 5-star linebacker coming out of Denton, Texas. So you're going to see some projections to the state of Texas. He's 6'5", 232. He was a 5-star. He was the number 1 athlete in the country, the number 3 player in Texas, the number 22 overall prospect in the country when he signed in the class of 2020. Struggled to get on the field at Alabama the last 2 years, but it doesn't change the fact that you're talking about a guy who is big, fast, physical, strong, and at a position of dire need for LSU. I don't know if they can get in the mix for Sanders or if it's just a foregone conclusion he's going to join Sark at Texas. Maybe that's the case. But my goodness, this is a guy who at a position of need would be an immediate plug-and-play guy. When you look at LSU's linebackers, let's assume Mike Jones returns. We haven't heard yet, but let's assume Mike Jones returns. After Mike Jones, and really you've got Greg Penn, who played in the bowl game and late in the season because of injuries and opt-outs and all that sort of stuff. But other than that, the linebackers you have are Josh White, Phillip Webb, Antoine Sampa, and Jared Small, who, of course, Calic High, love the guy, but former walk-on, and I don't know that he'll ever be a starter. just suffered a season-ending injury before the season started. My point is you have nobody in that linebacker corps that has any level of experience. Let me rephrase. Mike Jones played a ton at Clemson. He didn't play a lot for LSU this past year. After Mike Jones and the little bit of run that Greg Penn got, Josh White, Phillip Webb, Antoine Sampa, and Jared Small. That's it. That's your linebacker room. You need immediate plug-and-play help, and that's an easy sell to Drew Sanders. Hey, man, we pump defensive players in the league. We've got a former, an NFL linebackers coach who's coming to be our defensive coordinator, who's been a coordinator in the SEC, will be your position coach. Like, come join us. As much as LSU has lamented seeing guys like Elias Ricks go to Bama and other players leave, this is an opportunity where there are two players from Alabama who were highly recruited athletes at positions of dire need for LSU that you could get immediately and make your roster better. See if Brian Kelly can get it done. They are going to make over this roster in the transfer portal. It's not even debatable. That's going to happen. These two guys would help a ton. All right, it's After Further Review. We appreciate you for being here with us. We're brought to you by Shawbills Tire and Auto Service, ShawBillsTire.com. Bumper-to-bumper auto service and name brand tires at wholesale prices. The newest Shawbills location is now open in Denham Springs. You can find the location nearest you at ShawBillsTire.com. Of course, if you need financing, that's available. If you're looking for any of the specials, the dealer specials are all there at ShawBillsTire.com. ShawBillsTire.com. If you got a question, easy. Look, there's a text bubble right there on the home page. Hit the text bubble, choose the location nearest you, and then boom, you're chatting with a Shawbills associate instantly. They make it as easy as possible on you. They'll sell you name brand tires at wholesale price, and they'll treat you like family, which is why they've been successful in business for more than 50 years now. ShawBillsTire.com. Why would you go anywhere else? ShawBillsTire.com. Shawbills, where we keep you rolling. All right, y'all, it's After Further Review. Thanks for being here with us. Ross Dellenger, 28 minutes from this very moment. We will talk college football playoff. He was at the national championship game in Indy. We'll talk about the future of the playoff as well. He was covering those meetings from the college football playoff committee earlier this week. So all that we'll delve into a bit later this week, a bit later in the show. When we come back, we'll have overrated, underrated. Muse will have Tigers and the pros. We still got to talk some LSU, Florida, and hoops. A ton to do. Glad you're with us on a Hump Day edition of AFR, presented by Pluckers.
AFR.
Well, if you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird. Had a great lunch today over at Pluckers with my guy Stevie Levy, the king of the wing. That's right. You can always have a great lunch at Pluckers. I had a grilled chicken, blue cheese, chicken Cobb salad. Phenomenal, fresh, giant salad. Check it out at Pluckers. But on a night like this, LSU, Florida, 6 p.m. tip, hoops. Don't go home. Leave the office. Go straight to Pluckers. The Nicholson location just south of campus, or Bluebonnet right in front of the Mall of Louisiana. Why would you go anywhere else? They got TVs everywhere. They got award-winning jumbo chicken wings, ice-cold draft beer, full-service bar. Tonight and every Wednesday at 8 o'clock is trivia. So get your team together, win a bunch of Pluckers gift cards, general knowledge trivia, LSU, Florida at 6, trivia at 8. Just make a night of it at Pluckers. Nicholson just south of campus. Bluebonnet right in front of the Mall of Louisiana. Dine in or carry out. Remember, Pluckers, if you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
There it is, the extra mile. On the border of expected and extraordinary. For those willing to go further. Like vans customized for work or play. With safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded. Because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Our topic today is about savings. What is savings?
Hancock Whitney isn't just a bank for our clients. We're investing in our hometowns, making life better for everyone. So keep dreaming. We've got your back.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Le posso offrire un caffè? Le posso offrire un caffè? Andiamo insieme da me, non c'è.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
I asked Muse in the last segment, the Steelers running back whose nickname was the Bus. Thought that was a layup. He didn't get it. Swung and missed.
People miss layups sometimes.
Complete whiff, and it's embarrassing when they do.
It's not. It's
horribly
it's
embarrassing.
Not overly humiliating, though.
Oh, it's pretty humiliating.
Sometimes.
When you're a pro and you miss a layup, it's embarrassing. If you're a fifth grader and you miss a layup, a little more understandable. I mean, you work in sports talk radio. For you not to know Jerome Bettis' nickname.
That doesn't mean I'm a trivia pro.
Jerome Bettis is on... He's on TV all the time. He's a Hall of Fame running back.
I know he's a Hall of Fame running back.
What's Walter Payton's nickname?
Sweetness.
Okay. So.
There you go.
You should know. Anyway, Brad Newman pointed out, excuse Musso, it's 420.
No.
Yes.
No,
That's exactly right.
I'm not good at trivia.
It was on
That's not
point.
right.
You just got the Walter Payton Sweetness?
I like trivia. It's just not a strong suit of mine. It has
Cole
nothing to do with
Pierce.
420.
Cole Pierce.
Oh, get out of here.
How are you a sports radio guy and not know who the Bus was? Everyone's saying the same thing. Muse, poll question. Do you know Jerome Bettis' nickname? Yes or no?
All right, fine. We'll do that.
Poll question.
Fine.
That's
but
what
I
it's gonna
mean,
be.
there's more trivia, too, so I can redeem myself.
Brian Landry. I can't believe he didn't know who the Bus was. Fire him now.
Believe it, Brian. Oh, hey, you actually
Jeremy
haven't
Barbet.
fired me in a while.
Jeremy Barbet. I reserve that for Brame. Jeremy Barbet.
He used to fire me all the time, too.
Oh. He really didn't know who the Bus was? Laughing emojis.
Miss one thing.
That's a big one. That's a big miss. Like, that's a big miss to not know that Bettis was the Bus. I mean, Paul knew it. Paul doesn't say anything. He was laughing at you. Paul, how bad is that? Scale of 1 to 10. How bad?
I'd say an 8.
See, that's really bad.
Man, that's the first time I think I've ever been classified as an 8. Thanks, Paul. I appreciate that.
No, this is not a good way. It was a bad list. Remember, it was a bad list. NFL all-time rushing leaders. Jerome Bettis, 8th on the all-time rushing list.
Look, Jerome Bettis and I were both 8s. How about that?
Emmett Smith, Walter Payton, Frank Gore, Barry Sanders, Adrian Peterson, Curtis Martin, LT.
I know AP's nickname all day. There you go. All that.
And then Jerome Bettis. It's embarrassing. You'll be excited to know that Jay Johnson spoke to the Rotary Club today.
Yeah.
Look at Muse. He's so fired up.
Jay Johnson, my king.
I bet you know some friggin' baseball trivia if I throw it out to you.
Oh, yeah.
Who's the center fielder on the 93 team?
From LSU?
Yeah, 93 national championship team.
Rios?
I think it was Armando Rios.
Yeah, Armando Rios.
Sure it was. Who is the left fielder on the 91 team?
Mouton? Lyle
Nope.
Mouton? Nope.
He was right fielder. Who's the left fielder? Ended in a vowel.
A lot of people's names end in a vowel.
Mouton doesn't.
Oh, it ends in a consonant.
Rios doesn't. Rich Cordani.
My last name ends in a vowel. Your last name ends in a vowel.
Yes.
Well, there you go.
But neither of us play baseball at LSU.
No.
You know what else ends in a vowel? Overrated or underrated? T-O-O. That's the vowel, not underrated. That's a D. Let's do overrated, underrated. 2.
We didn't get to Jay Johnson.
Well, it's because I looked up it's 441.
Overrated.
We got to do this.
Or
Sorry.
underrated.
We'll come back.
I personally think it's criminally underrated.
I got an idea, Muse.
What's that?
Is cut one from Jay Johnson overrated or underrated? Let's hear it.
Well, we can't because I'm playing the bed out of the Adobe. We can do this, though. Overrated or underrated, take me out to the ball game.
Overrated.
Why? You're a hater. It's a great song. It's a great tradition.
It's not a great song.
Yes, it is.
It's a fairly terrible song, actually. You can like the tradition, fine, but you asked to take me out to the ball game. I'm assuming you mean the song. The tradition during the 7th inning stretch, fine with it. The song itself, slow, bad melody, dated, not very good.
It's the second verse of the song, too, apparently. Overrated or underrated?
You knew that, but you didn't know Jerome Bettis was the bus?
You said I probably knew baseball trivia, and there you go. Overrated or underrated? Drew Carey.
Overrated. You asked me a few weeks ago about improv comedy.
Yeah.
And I told you improv comedy, vastly underrated. Drew Carey hosted Whose Line Is It Anyway? He was the worst one on the show.
Yeah.
He was the worst one. Overrated. Drew Carey.
Okay.
Not funny. Overrated. And he's from Cleveland.
Cleveland.
Oh, you can play that.
There's a reason not everything's on a button. We have a lot of buttons on this show.
Get more.
Overrated or underrated? Ice skating.
Overrated.
That's it? No. Okay. All right.
It's cold.
Yeah.
It's difficult for a lot of people to do. So are we talking about just the fun leisure activity?
Yeah.
Or the level of difficulty?
No.
As a fun leisure activity?
Yeah.
When you are cold and hurting yourself by falling down, that is not a good time. That's overrated.
Overrated or underrated? Grapes.
Grapes are underrated. I don't know why more people don't like grapes. Is it true that grapes don't actually break down when you eat them?
I don't know.
I need some confirmation on that. Grapes, refreshing fruit. I like that they're bite-sized. Like an apple, you got to hold it or cut it. Or like grape, you just pop a grape in your mouth. Grapes, vastly underrated. I like the green grapes, though, not the purple ones.
And the ones that pop your jaw, the green ones, those are good.
Give me green grapes.
I'm not seeing anything about grapes not breaking down here, man. I don't know. That might not be true.
All right.
That's overrated or underrated.
This is After Further Review, brought to you by Relief Windows, reliefwindows.com, 288-8138, 288-8138, or reliefwindows.com, windows, doors, siding. Give Brandon Holly and the gang a call. I actually had someone this morning message me and say, Matt, had Relief Windows at the house yesterday, signed up, told him I heard about it from you. Thank you. I appreciate that greatly. And as always, give him a shout out. Let him know that you heard it from us here on After Further Review. But if you need energy-efficient replacement windows, beautiful entry doors, hardy plank or vinyl siding, make your home more beautiful, more energy-efficient, lower your energy bills, increase your resale value. Why wouldn't you do this? It's an investment into your home. and they never take $1 until you're thrilled with the work they do. That's Relief Windows and reliefwindows.com, 288-8138 or reliefwindows.com. All right, Muse is going to have overrated, underrated. Muse is going to have Tigers in the pros. We just did overrated, underrated. And Ross Dellenger in 15 minutes from right now. Glad to have you hanging out with us here on a Hump Day edition of AFR, presented by Pluckers.
AFR.
Baton Rouge General Hospital, expanding healthcare in the greater Baton Rouge area. Check them out online at brgeneral.org, brgeneral.org. When you are choosing your healthcare provider, choose the best. Choose the Baton Rouge General Hospital, brgeneral.org. From their Bluebonnet location, the Mid-City location. Of course, they've got the Ascension Neighborhood Hospital as well, and all of the Express Care locations. If you need that COVID test or you're just feeling a little under the weather, you want to bypass the ER, no worries. brgeneral.org. They've got Express Care locations all over the greater Baton Rouge area, including a location on either end of LSU's campus, one on Nicholson just across from Tiger Stadium and one on Highland just through the south gates of LSU. It's the Baton Rouge General Hospital, part of the Mayo Clinic Care Network. You can learn more about that at brgeneral.org. brgeneral.org, expanding healthcare in the greater Baton Rouge area. It is the Baton Rouge General Hospital. For locations or more information, log on to brgeneral.org.
Prescription.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Bayou Ford has 0% for 60 months on new Ford F-150s. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million-mile powertrain warranty. And now 0% for 60 months on Ford F-150s. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
I had to pack up all my things. I had to leave my home. And I never knew where I was going next. It felt like I never even had a say. But then you came along.
Change a child's story. There's a child in foster care waiting for a volunteer like you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
If home is where the heart is, a roof is a shield. That's why for over 25 years, South Louisiana always turns to Garcia Roofing.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Pluckers Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Pluckers Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
We're about 2 hours away. As soon as the show ends, I'm getting out of here, going to Yoga Studio 90 on Highlandia. Free class. They're calling it Meet Matt on the Mat. So come hang out. Functional strength, cardio. You will sweat. You work out. You'll be hard. It'll be a great workout. I'll be there at 6:45. Great opportunity for those in the new year looking for a new workout, something to get them in shape. This could be perfect for you. It's been a workout I've done for a long time. Invite you to come join us. So 6:45. As soon as I get done here at 6, I'm jetting over to Yoga Studio 90. Totally free class. Just come, bring a friend, work out, have a good time night in the class. All right, it's after further review. Thanks for being here. Dellenger in about 12 minutes from right now. But right now, Muso has Tigers in the pros.
Tigers in the pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now. Presented by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, where Baton Rouge gets engaged.
Today, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers designated Leonard Fournette for return from IR. Gamecoin Lenny has been on IR since suffering a hamstring injury versus the Saints in Week 15. So now, Tampa Bay has 21 days to activate Leonard Fournette. Hashtag Gamecoin Lenny.
Hashtag Gamecoin Lenny.
Bruce Arians said today that wide receiver Cyril Grayson is doubtful for the playoff matchup versus the Eagles with a hamstring. Chiefs running...
Sorry.
Okay. Chiefs running back Clyde Edwards-Helaire was listed as a limited participant.
Calic High and Helaire.
On today's injury report with the same shoulder that had him on IR since Week 15.
Are you doing it on purpose?
Injured that shoulder against... man, you threw my thought process off. Injured that shoulder against the Chargers. NBA action last night. Naz Reid, 6 minutes off the bench for the T-Wolves versus the Pels. Shot 1 of 3 from the floor, just 2 points, only added 1 rebound. Not an overly productive evening for Naz with those 6 minutes. Garrett Temple, 18 minutes off the bench for the Pels, 2 of 6 from the floor, 1 of 5 on his threes, 5 points, did add 4 rebounds to round out the night. Temple and the Pels beat Reid and the Timberwolves 128-125.
How did that game end?
Brandon Ingram with a game winner?
Yeah, at the buzzer. Wonder how it sounded on the Pelicans radio network.
You got to let me know you were going to do that. I haven't downloaded it. Damn. Skylar Mays. Remember, Skylar Mays has a two-way deal with the Hawks, so he also spends time in the G League. That's where he was last night with the College Park Skyhawks. 33 minutes. What a night. Shot 10 of 16 from the floor, 3 of 7 from 3, 23 points, 7 assists, 7 rebounds, so a near triple-double for Skylar Mays. 3 steals as well, plus 23 in the starting role. College Park Skyhawks, a 120-94 win over the Grand Rapids Gold. And that is Tigers in the Pros.
Presented by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. They're online at lmfj.com. Gentlemen, gift her the red box. Actually, gift her what is in the red box. But the red box has been synonymous in our town for so many years, for 4 decades, as a matter of fact, with style, with class, with luxury, with absolutely beautiful jewelry that is going to thrill her every single time. lmfj.com. Give her the gift in the red box and thrill her, gentlemen, with a gift from Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Have the Lee Michaels experience, no matter your purchase, your budget, anything along those lines. Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. You will get a very beautiful piece of jewelry at an affordable price and the Lee Michaels experience. lmfj.com. lmfj.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. All right, it's after further review. We appreciate y'all for being here with us. We'll kick off hour number 3 with Ross Dellenger coming up here in just a quick second. The what I was cueing Muso on there was Todd Graffinini's call last night as the Pels, Brandon Ingram, had this game winner against Minnesota.
Pump fake. Bounce feed to Jonas. Up top, B.I. Straight away 3. Good!
Bucket! Bucket!
Good!
Rumble, young man!
0.3 of a second left. Inbound Beverly. Half-court shot. No good! Ball game!
Not all heroes wear capes, my friend. Some of them wear number 14.
Brandon Ingram with the biggest bucket of this season. Nothing but twine from 27 feet. and the Pelicans win at 128-125.
Pels are Graf on the call there. 100.3 ESPN New Orleans, our New Orleans affiliate. Remember, tomorrow the Pels are back on the floor at home against the Clippers. We are raffling off the tickets, floor seats for that game, courtside for charity. 35 minutes from right now, we're drawing for those. 1045ESPN.com. It's $20 a chance. You want to sit on the floor to watch that game tomorrow night? Here's your chance. Go to 1045ESPN.com. Courtside for charity. $20 a chance. We're drawing in 35 minutes for tomorrow night's game. Hour 3 is next.
AFR.
Bayou Ford has 0% for 60 months on new Ford F-150s. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million-mile powertrain warranty. And now 0% for 60 months on Ford F-150s. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
Before we begin any electrical work here, we perform a home safety check that begins at your electrical panel to make sure that you and your family are safe. For all your upgrades, installations, and repairs, call Mr. Electric.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Thinking about a new car for the new year? Come to Corval Toyota in Opelousas to pre-order your next vehicle. It's an easy process, and Toyotas are getting to our lot weekly. Make the decision now. Come on down to Corval Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
I had to pack up all my things. I had to leave my home. And I never knew where I was going next. It felt like I never even had a say. But then you came along.
Change a child's story. There's a child in foster care waiting for a volunteer like you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Sports Center.
I'm Doug Brown. Duke coach Mike Krzyzewski will miss tonight's game against Wake Forest with a non-COVID-19 illness. John Shire takes over the Blue Devils for that game. It's at 7 Eastern on the ACC network. Safety Eric Weddle comes out of retirement to sign with the Rams for their playoff run. Jordan Fuller suffered a season-ending ankle injury in the regular season finale. Weddle hasn't played since retiring from the Rams after the 2019 season. The Rams will host the Cardinals in a wild card game on Monday night. The Giants are now looking for a head coach, and ESPN's Tim Hasselbeck says, in spite of the team's recent past, it's still a great job.
The Mara and the Tisch families are respected families in the National Football League that many people wish that they could work for versus the people that they are currently work for.
Tim Hasselbeck on Barton Hahn. Trailblazers guard Damian Lillard will have surgery for an abdominal injury. He will likely be out at least 6 to 8 weeks. Portland starts a 6-game road trip tomorrow night.
Aaron Rodgers could continue to play. He's got another 4 to 5 years left in it. Whatever the high level is, 20 interception guy, he's getting better.
More Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max, Thursday, 6 a.m. Eastern on ESPN Radio and ESPN2.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge Studios. That's right.
Hour 3, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Pluckers. I'm Matt.
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Paul O'Neal.
Chanting Paul O'Neal's name.
Muso. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. We're here. Glad you are as well. 5 o'clock quitting time. Glad you're driving home with us. And oh, by the way, it's a hump day. Woo! Let's hump everybody.
It's hump day.
It's a Whiskey Wednesday.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Pour that booze and watch the Tigers play. We're drawing for Pelicans floor seats in 30 minutes.
It's hump day.
I'm going to Yoga Studio 90 at 6:45, and you can join me for free.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Dane Bradshaw was here. Taylor Calandro's here.
It's hump day.
Muso got high and didn't know that Jerome Bettis' nickname was the Bus.
Mike. What day is it,
Not
Mike?
true.
That is a fact, and
Was
you
not
know it.
high.
It's a
not
scientific fact. It's a scientific fact. And right now, we're joined by Ross Dellenger of Sports Illustrated. He's on Twitter at Ross Dellenger. Give him a follow. Read his stuff. Delly, thanks for the time. How are you?
Good, Matt. How you doing?
Well, thank you so much for carrying the energy right into the beginning of this interview, Ross. We appreciate that. And that was a very subtle little laugh. How about that? Is that the most we're going to get out of you today, Delly? It's a Whiskey Wednesday, man. You got to watch a Natty. You got to watch Nick Saban, the evil empire, fall. You fired up for it all?
Yeah. Don't I sound like it?
I know. Hey, all right. So, first of all, what was it like? First time Indy has hosted the national championship game. What was it like there?
Cold.
Yes. Aside from cold.
Everybody really was really nice. It was a great setup. They have the tunnels and the skywalks where you don't have to go outside. I think in 4 days there, 4.5 days, whatever, I went outside twice. It hardly ever got above 25 degrees. As far as wind chill, it hovered in the 15, 20 degree most of the time. It sleeted one night. I mean, look, you can't control the weather. I get it, but it was. There's a reason why it was the first time a cold weather city hosted the championship game. Okay, it was it was miserable out. And but inside, and a lot of the things that they did, and a lot of the people that hosted the event, I mean, they're all nice and everything was great. I mean, the weather was cruddy, but you know, everything else inside was great. It was a great hotel that a lot of the stuff was in, and I just wish, you know, we had gotten obviously in-person stuff. You know, everything was virtual, but that's how it is.
He's on Twitter at Ross Dellenger. I do want to ask about the college football playoff and the future of it here in just a moment, but I'd be remiss if I didn't at least get some thoughts on what transpired on Monday night. So I don't know how you felt going into it. Georgia, they did it. They got the monkey off their back. They win a natty, and they beat Bama doing it. What was your reaction watching it?
This is one of the hardest national championship games to pick in the last several years. I changed my pick 3 different times. Started with Alabama, then I switched to Georgia, and then my final prediction was Alabama, and sent it in and didn't feel real good about it. And of course, the way the game, the result of the game, you know, it explained itself. It was I should have kept with the Bulldogs. They were the better team. I think they were the better team all season. They actually had, I know it's going to be surprising, but more talent than Alabama did. And the first go-around was, I don't want to say an anomaly, but if these two teams played 10 times, I'm guessing 7, 8 times Georgia would win. I don't feel like that. And the last thing that made me pick Alabama, Matt, is not just Nick Saban's record at championship games and just, you know, his record overall, but it's Georgia's quarterback position versus Alabama, and that was kind of the bugaboo for Kirby Smart the first 4 times that he played Nick Saban. Was Nick Saban had a better quarterback, and so in the end, that quarterback won the game some way. And I thought that would happen again, and it didn't. Georgia's defense just too good, and give it up for former walk-on Stetson Bennett. Right, he rebounded from that crazy turnover play, that crazy fumble, and I think completed his last 4 passes for like 120 yards or something, and 2 touchdowns.
Hey, you're a really good reporter. Did you figure out how in the hell the Georgia players ended up with the Alabama hats?
Wait, what? I missed it. I must have missed this.
Did you not see this?
I don't think I did. If it happened after the game Monday, or even Tuesday, I missed it because I was traveling Tuesday, and then after the game, I was hacking away writing. But what happened?
On the field, immediate post-game, when Georgia's getting the championship shirts and hats, Nakobe Dean is on ESPN wearing the Alabama national championship hat. Did you not see this?
No.
How in the hell did you miss this? This was like the viral thing. This and Stetson Bennett taking pulls off a Pappy 23 right out of the bottle were like the 2 things that went viral after the game.
Oh, man.
You need to get working. You got to get working on this, Delly.
Well, yeah, I'm Googling it, and I see the Nakobe Dean hat. I don't know how that happened, but wow, that's somebody mixed up the boxes, of the championship apparel, and that Alabama box will need to be. Usually, what they do with that stuff, I believe, is send it overseas. So somebody somewhere overseas maybe will have that hat Nakobe Dean wore.
Get to the bottom of it, man. If Nakobe Dean should have just kept it like as a souvenir, who knows? Man. Yeah, NFT that thing and sell it on the interwebs and whatnot. Hey, okay, Ross Dellenger's with us. College football season's over. One of the things that was that happened on Monday night also was that the College Football Playoff Committee met, and we were maybe hopeful, fingers crossed, that we might get some resolution about the future of the playoff. We didn't. So can you give us an update where things stand right now with the College Football Playoff format?
Well, right now, we have 4 more years in the current contract that runs through the 2025 playoffs. The CFP and ESPN have 4 more years in this contract. And we're going to break the contract early. And the thing that they've been discussing is breaking the contract 2 years early and expanding the playoff and starting a new contract in 2024. So you have an expanded playoff in 2024, 2025, with a new contract. But in order, Matt, to break the 12-year contract, you've got to have unanimity among the college football playoff commissioners, basically the 10 commissioners and Jack Fulbrook, Notre Dame athletic director. And we don't have it. We don't have it right now. And they've met 7 times. The last time this past weekend in Indianapolis, and I was seated Saturday and Sunday outside of, in part of Monday too, outside of the room as they filtered in and out and met. And it was very much as expected, right? I didn't think they would come to an agreement for a variety of reasons, and they didn't. And now supposedly they'll keep talking. They'll keep meeting about the issue, but we're getting to the point where it's becoming very clear that we're not going to be able to get unanimity to break the contract early. So we'll have a 14 playoff until the contract ends through the 2025 season. So you'll have to, at some point in the next year, 18 months, they've got to turn focus on 2026 and a new contract, and maybe, they'll agree on expansion then. You wouldn't need unanimity at that point.
Okay.
You just probably would need a majority.
What are the hang-ups, Ross?
There are a lot of them. I think the most, I'll hit on some of the most important ones. First of all, 8, or actually 9 of the 11 people that have to agree, of the 11 people, 9 of them are in support of the proposed 12-team playoff model that came out this past summer. It takes the 6th highest-ranked conference champion, does not designate an automatic qualifier by conference. It just takes the 6th highest-ranked conference champions get an automatic bid. And then the next 6 are at larges. And you play first-round games on campuses mid-December, and you play quarterfinals on New Year's Day in the bowl game, semifinals in the bowl games, and then you have a championship game in mid-January or so. 9 of the 11 are in support of that format. The Big Ten and the ACC are not.
Why?
So the ACC's reasons publicly are it wants specific automatic bids for each Power 5 champion. And the Big Ten is the same. It wants specific. So it wants 5 Power 5 champions automatically in, and then the 6th would be the highest ranked group of 5 champions getting in. It's very similar to the model I just mentioned, right? Where it's the 6th highest ranked conference champions. It's very rarely will you have a second group of 5 team, right, be in that top 6. It's only happened once in the last, since the playoffs started, 8 years, and that was 2022, which is sort of an anomaly. But that's what they want. So that's the first kind of blockage. The second is Jim Phillips of the ACC. He just wants the decision to be delayed until the NCAA transformation ends. We're going through a transformation process. The NCAA is, realignment happened, and it kind of changed the landscape. So his comment, desire is just let's delay this decision and wait till things kind of calm. And then, the third thing involves the Pac-12 and the Big Ten. It does involve the ACC. And it, of course, is, and we've talked about it quite a bit on the show, the Rose Bowl. And I wrote about it back in July. And I remember some people saying, especially from out west, that, this story is, concocted and, we're not standing in the way. They're standing in the way, right? It's an issue, and it remains an issue. So those are kind of like the 3 main things. There's a lot of other ancillary things going on, Matt. Obviously Texas and Oklahoma going to the SEC, that happened. That news broke right in the middle of all this. Look, it angered some other commissioners. There's no doubt. It's changing the landscape a little bit. So there's some concern, that's lumped in with all this. COVID delayed this whole thing. This could have come out over a year ago before you had the two new commissioners join the room out in the Pac-12 and the ACC. So they're kind of new blood in the room. They weren't here during the subcommittee's work the last couple of years. There's just a lot of things going on. But the three main ones are, Power 5 automatic, the argument over automatic qualifiers. And I should say this, the ACC also wants an 18 playoff instead of 12. So there's that too.
Why?
So it's the number of teams, it's the automatic qualifiers, it's the Rose Bowl, and it's just overall the bowl system merging with a playoff system. Why does the ACC want 8? I think that they just believe 12 is too many. I think they believe that 12 adds that extra round in mid-December where you have an extra game, so there's site student, athlete health and the welfare sort of thing. It just extends the calendar, so to speak, with 12 versus 8. And then of course there's again the one thing that's not one of the things that's not mentioned publicly, but privately people wonder, is the ACC trying to maybe maneuver to force Notre Dame into their conference? Because obviously if you cut down the field and cut down the large spots, for Notre Dame, that might have them, rethinking whether they should do an ACC or not. So it's just a lot of things going on, and I don't think they're going to agree in time to expand before the contract ends.
Okay. So 4 more years of the current format, unless there's something drastically changes. We'll see if it does. No doubt they'll be following it there at Sports Illustrated. You should as well. He's Ross Dellenger on Twitter, at Ross Dellenger, Sports Illustrated. Go read his stuff. And Deli, find out about the hat, man. Like, do some research. You can do this. You can get this.
I'll get on it.
Okay, let me know. Okay. All right, we'll talk to you later.
Will do.
All right.
All right, buddy.
That's Ross Dellenger. This is After Further Review. Appreciate Deli for a couple of minutes here. Want to remind you about Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. Tell you every single day, do business with someone you know, Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. That's me, that's Terrio, that's all of our great partners. Listen, you can even email me directly, Matt@HudcoRoofing.com. If that's easier for you, just email me, Matt@HudcoRoofing.com. I'll happily help facilitate. But a couple things. Number one, if you have, maybe you had damage from Ida, you file with your insurance, you have your scope of work, you've got your paperwork. In our business, that's like a golden ticket, man. You got that? Call us, pick out a shingle color, boom. We'll have you a new roof in 2 or 3 weeks. You'll be done within a couple of weeks. So if you have another roofing company giving you the runaround, and if they're saying months, no. We got materials, we got labor, we're ready to rock. Roof repairs, roof replacements. We can soft wash your roof or your entire house. Remember, commercial or residential. We did All-Star Lanes in Baton Rouge, did a CVS recently as well, big apartment complexes. If it's commercial or residential, we got you covered at Hudco Roofing. Do business with someone you know, HudcoRoofing.com. Check us out online or give us a buzz. 364-1007, 364-1007, 364-1007, or HudcoRoofing.com. I appreciate Deli for a couple of minutes. Remember, if you miss anything, AFR On Demand, presented by Brett Golf, go to 1045ESPN.com or the After Further Review YouTube channels. There's a Saints and an LSU channel, so if you miss any of our LSU content, it's on the AFR LSU channel. If our Saints content, it's on the AFR Saints channel. Please go subscribe to those YouTube channels. You can check out all the video of anything you missed. Speaking of the Saints, told you yesterday, Jeff Ireland is getting an interview with the Bears for their GM job. We thought with the way that the Saints defense played this year that Dennis Allen would be a hot commodity in head coaching searches, yet that's not really materialized. Why? We'll discuss next. It's AFR.
AFR.
Man, I'll tell you what. You walk outside right now, it's, 30. No, it's 58 degrees. It was 37 this morning. It'll be 43 tonight. Kind of has you dreaming of warmer temperatures and beautiful weather. Like when you get to swan dive into your own pool in your backyard. Let that dream become a reality. Call Pinnacle Exterior Construction, 757-6138. Call them now. Matt, it's cold. Why would I call the pool company now? Because now is when you call Pinnacle, they come out, begin the process, put the plans together for your custom pool, your outdoor kitchen, whatever it may be. They'll get you on the calendar. That way you'll be done and swimming when the weather is nice again. Pinnacle Exterior Construction. Check out pictures of their work, videos as well at pecbuilt.com. That's our website, pecbuilt.com, or give them a call today. at 757-6138.
Bayou Ford has 0% for 60 months on new Ford F-150s. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. And now 0% for 60 months on Ford F-150s. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Our topic today is about savings. What is savings?
Hancock Whitney isn't just a bank for our clients. We're investing in our hometowns, making life better for everyone. So keep dreaming. We've got your back.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
I had to pack up all my things. I had to leave my home. And I never knew where I was going next. It felt like I never even had a say. But then you came along.
Change a child's story. There's a child in foster care waiting for a volunteer.
They just spent like 2 or 3 weeks out the country. Them boys up to something, they just not just bluffing. You don't have to call, I hear my dance like Usher. Ooh.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
I'm full Louisiana. I've survived a hurricane. When I landed, Coach Maneri made me eat alligator. Like, you can't take this job unless you're going to dive into this thing. So I did that. I spent a little time in the restroom after that. But I'm full on Louisiana.
Jay Johnson was at the Rotary Club today, getting ready for his first campaign as the LSU baseball coach. What a time. I mean, you got Brian Kelly here assembling his staff and his roster. You got a basketball team, men's and women's right now. They're both ranked 12th in the country, and a baseball team that's preseason top 5, consensus in all of the different polls, and a lot of excitement around this baseball program. So Jay Johnson, just before his team getting set to get started on their preseason practice, was there meeting with Rotary today. He did, can you play 4, please, Muse? He did talk about the preseason rankings, where they're top 5, and also what this team may look like.
When you look at it on paper, and preseason rankings and prognostications are only validation that you might have some good players on your team. You know what I mean? And maybe some things people think what your talent can do. And we're in an interesting situation. We don't have a guy that was a guy back on the pitching staff. But what I think we tried to do quickly was to add a lot of depth. And so you may see some longer games this year. I know people don't like hearing about longer baseball games, but hopefully it means two things. Number one, we're scoring a ton of runs, okay, and having a lot of fun, and the music's playing and all of those types of things. And our plan is to use more people than you probably traditionally see. If it takes 5, 6, or 7 guys to get 27 outs, my goal is to put the pitchers in position for them to be successful, number one. And number two is not ask them to do more than they're capable of. And then it allows them to rise up and perform well. And I think we'll probably need a few more guys to do that than usual. Our offense is getting a lot of notoriety, and rightfully so. This is a good sign when I say this, at least in terms of the inter-squad games. I thought the pitching outperformed the hitting. And so I'm excited about that.
Well, I get asked a lot about LSU baseball and what the expectation is, and I'll say it over and again. They're going to hit the crap out of the baseball. They have a ton of arms. Establishing roles for those guys will determine where this team goes. But on talent alone, this could or should be an Omaha team. Now, can they win it when they get there? Look, you got to have a lot go your way, as we've seen. Great teams have gone to Omaha and lost. But this is a team that is a realistic expectation on this team to think they could be playing in June in the Midwest. But it's after further review. Glad to have you hanging out with us here. Brought to you by South Point Volkswagen, southpointvw.com. New certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge and online at southpointvw.com. The great German engineering, all the different IIHS top safety picks, the style, the feel, the performance of luxury without the cost. It's at South Point Volkswagen, Louisiana's largest volume Volkswagen dealer. I'll never drive anything else. I mean, after I was rear-ended the way I was, and I looked at that guy's truck, and then I looked at my Atlas, I was knowing that I put my 7-year-old son in a car seat every day in my Atlas gave me so much peace of mind after that wreck. South Point Volkswagen, southpointvw.com, South Point Volkswagen. What's your direction? Roughly a quarter of the NFL is looking for a new head coach. And Dennis Allen isn't getting a sniff. It's kind of incredible, right? I mean, this guy who's been a head coach before. And when you look at the defense he inherited, when Dennis Allen showed up in 2014, he inherited the 31st ranked defense in the league, second to last. And that was just a couple of years removed from 2012, where they were literally, or as Russ Mitchell would say, literally the worst defense in the history of the NFL. No defense ever had allowed more points or yards than that Saints defense in 2012. First year, they finished 31st. And every year, they've gotten better. 27th, 17th, 14th, 11th, and then each of the past 2 years, they finished in the top 10. It's been remarkable. From a team that basically had to outscore everyone it played to a team that is winning with defense. Incredible about face. And Dennis Allen deserves credit. Even this year, when Sean Payton was out with COVID and you went on the road to Tampa, you won 9-0. Proved he could do it again. He did interview last year with the Eagles, didn't get the job. Sirianni did, as we know. And maybe you could point to Dennis Allen's failed tenure as a head coach with the Raiders, and I would understand it. He had a chance, didn't work out. But the NFL generally falls upon one of two things: retreads or the hot young name. That's basically what they go for. And there's a lot of, I'm using the air quotes here, retreads that have done quite well in their second go-round. I mean, Mike Shanahan won 2 Super Bowls in Denver. He was a retread. Pete Carroll's a retread. Tough times late, but won a Super Bowl, got Seattle to another. Heights they'd never reached before. Bruce Arians a retread. Now, granted, he had Tom Brady with him this time. Won a Super Bowl in Tampa. Tony Dungy was a retread when won a Super Bowl in Indy. Hell, Bill Belichick's a retread, y'all. He got fired in Cleveland. Cleveland. Is that not the most Cleveland thing ever? Cleveland thing ever?
Cleveland.
Fired Bill Belichick. Cleveland. I don't know. I don't know if Dennis Allen will succeed next go-round. But the fact that with his track record, he's not getting more of a look. It's kind of embarrassing. I understand. Listen, it's so cliche, and everybody says it. And they say it because it's a cliche because everybody says it. NFL's a copycat league, and everybody's going for the young, hot, offensive-minded coach. And I get it. Sean McVay, and if it's Kyle Shanahan, or you're seeing a lot of looks for young OC. Kellen Moore is getting looks right now. It's just, I get. I mean, Cliff Kingsbury comes over from the NFL. Look at Joe Brady. It's what people are looking for, right? They're looking for the hot young name, and I get it. Offensively. But what Dennis Allen's doing right now is undeniable. He's also been a part of an organization that has built a winning culture, and he has shown you can still win with defense in the league in 2022. Byron Leftwich, another guy who's getting a ton of play right now. I get it, man. I'm not saying those guys shouldn't. But the fact that Dennis Allen isn't is genuinely surprising. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't want him to go nowhere. Stay right here. Don't get no interviews anywhere, man. Stay right here. Would love to see D.A. stay in New Orleans for a long, long time because he has transformed this organization with the way he has solidified the defense. All right, it's After Further Review. Appreciate y'all for being with us here. MyCleanLiving.net, MyCleanLiving.net. NASA technology inside of their air purifiers, clinically proven to eliminate the virus that causes COVID-19 and dozens of other pathogens. If you're fooling around with COVID right now, it's hampering your office, your school, your workplace, whatever it is. You just want to protect your home, your family at home, in your vehicle, at work. MyCleanLiving.net. Check out the Fresh Air Mobile. It's the one I have on the desk right here. Super affordable. You can order it online, or you can call their rep, Jennifer. The phone number's at the top of the page, 413-2299, 413-2299. MyCleanLiving.net, MyCleanLiving.net. All right, when we come back, LSU Florida final preview, and we'll draw for the Pelicans Clippers tickets tomorrow. You want to sit courtside and benefit great charities. Buy your tickets right now at 1045ESPN.com. Courtside for charity. We're drawing for tomorrow night's game when we return. It's AFR.
AFR.
If you're thinking of selling your home, there is only one call you need to make, and that is to Darren James. 335-7666, 335-7666, or agent225.com. Agent225.com. Do you know that 73% of people that list their home for sale by owner, 73%, nearly 3 out of 4, that list their home for sale by owner end up hiring a realtor? And the reason's pretty obvious. Maybe it's you don't know how to properly price your home. Maybe you just don't have time to be there for showings whenever people want them. There's a lot of different reasons. Maybe it's the paperwork, the back end, whatever it may be. 3 out of 4 people who list their home for sale by owner end up hiring a realtor. Why don't you save yourself the time and the money and hire the realtor that sells more homes than anyone? Darren James is on the Wall Street Journal's list of the top 1% of realtors in America. So you know what to do. Call Darren James. Get your home sold.
Think real estate. Think Darren James.
Thinking about a new car for the new year? Come on down to Corvell Toyota in Opelousas, where you never pay over MSRP. There's no markups, no gains. You can reserve yours today. Make the decision now. Come on down to Corvell Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Ho, H to the O-V. I used to move snowflakes by the OZ. I guess even back then you can call me CEO of the ROC.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Flucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Flucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
All right, got a draw for for the Pelicans and Clippers tickets. We'll get to that in just a second. LSU and Florida tonight. We are 24 minutes away from tip there at the O'Connell Center or the Exacatech Arena or whatever they call it now. First things first, no Xavier Pinson tonight, so we know that Justice Williams is going to get a lot of run tonight. But I personally am far more interested, because I think this is going to be more of a key, in how Efton Reed plays tonight on the road against Colin Castleton. Castleton is a dominant big in this league. He's a 15-9 guy. Efton Reed was dominant in the pre-conference, but when he's gone toe-to-toe against these SEC bigs, we saw him get in foul trouble against Tennessee. We saw what happened against Walker Kessler. Sheboy from Kentucky got in foul trouble, but so did Reed. He's going to have to start progressing. I'm giving the kid a little bit of a break here. He's only played 3 conference games. He's a freshman. He's going up against veteran bigs in the SEC. But this matters. And Wade talked about this. He talked about Efton Reed, who's been getting in foul trouble of late.
Part of Efton, I feel so bad for him, man. 1 or 2 of his fouls a game are really not his fault. He's cleaning up somebody else's junk. Somebody else is messed up, and you don't see that. He's cleaning up somebody else's mistake, and he almost has to foul. And it's I feel bad for him, and we're going to get better. He's really close to playing really, really well. He's really, really close. He's right there. He ain't far away at all.
I agree with Will, and I also understand that he's a guy that knows when to push and when to pull up. When to criticize, when to praise. And he is lifting up Efton Reed right now to let him, because he knows how important he is to this team. And he's lifting him up right now to let him know, look, man, you're important. You're getting there, close, and need you. And they are going to need him. Going to need him tonight. Speaking of, how do they defend Colin Castleton tonight?
He's a monster. He does a great job wedging himself around the basket for offensive rebounds. He's got great skill. They're going to try to take advantage of him versus our switching. They posted him first play of the game last year on Cam to take advantage of our switching. And so, we've got to do the best we can to limit him to one shot and guard him without fouling him. I mean, he leads them in free throws by a wide margin. He's 14th in the country in free throw rate. He does a tremendous job of drawing fouls, and we've got to guard him without fouling him. We got to make sure that we make it difficult for him to get the ball, and that's not just on the guys guarding him. We got to have great ball pressure. We got to try to force their catches out. There's a lot of complexities that go into making it tough to get the ball in the post.
Hannah-Griff is going to pinch hit for Jimmy Ott on Otterlocks in just a second. So in about 5 minutes, so Hanny will give us the pick on this ball game tonight. The line has climbed a little bit. Florida is a 3-point favorite in this game. It's been around a pick. It was 2 yesterday. It's climbed a little bit here today, with Florida now being favored by 3. So they're projecting a 71 to 67 type score in the ball game. Well, you can anyway. So the total that they're projecting right now is 138.5. So I want you to remember this, okay? The Florida Gators this year are 0-5 when they allow 69 points or more. 0-5 when they allow 69 points or more. So it's very easy target if you're LSU tonight. It's a good defensive team. You're on the road. Do what you do defensively exceptionally well, as LSU has, except for one game against Auburn. And even in that game, they slowed the pace. They lost that game 70-55, but the way it started with that 18-1 run, it was more LSU offensively not executing, obviously, than defensively. You just got to make sure offensively you don't have empty possessions, you're scoring in transition, you're affecting passing lanes, you're doing the things that LSU's done exceptionally well. Take good shots in the half court. This is a game LSU can win. Maybe should win. I'll say it again. My aim for this team would be to get through the first 7 games at 5-2. Win your home games, split your road games. Splitting your road games, you've already lost Auburn. I think winning at Bama is going to be very tough. The 2 I think you can get are tonight against Florida and at Tennessee. You got to get tonight against Florida. Tigers are a 3-point dog. They're on the road. Very tough, obviously, to win on the road. See if they can go get it. All right, it's after further review. We'll pick the winner for the tickets here in just a second. First, let me remind you about the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. Blue Bond in Baton Rouge, Ambassador Caffrey in Lafayette, and online at theantiagingclinics.com. Theantiagingclinics.com. All this month, free consultations for Ideal Protein. It's January. Many people, their New Year's resolution is to lose weight. If you need help with that, Ideal Protein could be the perfect. It's ketogenic. It's medical grade weight loss system. They'll keep you accountable. You'll weigh, you'll measure, all that stuff. They'll get you to your weight loss goal. And free consultations all this month. The Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. Blue Bond in Baton Rouge. Ambassador Caffrey in Lafayette. And online, theantiagingclinics.com. Learn more, theantiagingclinics.com. All right, let's do it. We'll draw here for the We'll draw here for the winner of the tickets for tomorrow night's game, Pelicans against the Clippers, courtesy of our friends at Gulf Coast Office Products. You've heard us promote this for some time. Our buddy Trey Beal at Gulf Coast Office Products, their official office equipment provider of the Pelicans. They've donated their floor seats for 4 games for us to raffle off and to donate all the money to 4 different charities. This is the 3rd game. The 4th is coming up February the 8th against the Houston Rockets. So this is the 3rd game we're drawing for. It's the Pels, the Clippers. It's tomorrow night. All right, let's go ahead and draw. All right, the winner is, congrats to, there it is. Here you go, Paul, if you want to share the screen. The winner is Kurt Kellerman. Congrats to Kurt Kellerman. You are the winner of the Pelicans Clippers tickets for tomorrow night at the Smoothie King Center. Enjoy the game, sitting on the floor, 2 seats, and know that we're helping raise money for great Louisiana charity. So congrats to Kurt Kellerman on winning the tickets for tomorrow night's game. You have one more chance. So if you've already bought tickets, you're entered. But you still have time to buy your raffle tickets February the 8th. So we'll draw on the 7th, February 8th, Pelicans, Rockets. It's the last one that we're doing. Still have a chance, $20 per raffle ticket. I ask you, just hat in hand, even if you don't win, man, you're helping some great local charities. So thanks to everyone who has participated, and you still got one more shot. So go buy your raffle tickets at 1045ESPN.com for Courtside for charity. All right, y'all, it's after further review. Hump Day Show is brought to you by Pluckers. Tigers tipping off in about 16 minutes against the Gators. Need a place to watch. Pluckers is always a great spot. Okay, one thing left to do. We'll knock out a quick break. We'll have Otterlocks, Hanny pinch hitting for the Ottfather. That's coming up next on AFR.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by Clegg's Nursery. Buy local, shop local, and tell them Matt sent you into Clegg's Nursery with 4 locations in the greater Baton Rouge area. Siegen near Airline, LA 16 in Denham, Mid-City on Donmore, and the Garden Center on Greenwell Springs. Every single day, they have plants and trees and shrubs and flowers arriving at their garden center. You might think, Matt, it's freezing outside. Why would I plant flowers right now? There are actually trees and shrubs and bushes and plants and flowers that are perfect for this time of year. That's where you have to lean on their horticulturists. They know what will thrive this time of year, what needs sunlight, what doesn't need sunlight, what's great for indoors, whatever it may be. Ask our friends at Clegg's Nursery. They have the expertise. They can help. What I normally do is I just take a picture of my outdoor area and I show it to them and say, what would look good here? They can help you out. Buy local, shop local. Remember, Clegg's Nursery partner with True Value Hardware Store. It's at Clegg's Nursery. Buy local, shop local. Tell them Matt sent you to Clegg's Nursery.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
I had to pack up all my things. I had to leave my home. And I never knew where I was going next. It felt like I never even had a say. But then you came along.
Change a child's story. There's a child in foster care waiting for a volunteer like you.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Down the stretch we come, final segment here on a Hump Day edition of AFR presented by Pluckers. Tigers and Gators in 11 minutes. As soon as we get done here, I'm changing clothes, jetting out. I'm going to Yoga Studio 90. We have On the Mat with Matt tonight. Yoga Studio 90, 6:45, totally free class. 1 hour from right now. Come, bring a friend. Again, totally free. Come try out the workout. I'll be there. We'll hang out. Look forward to it. We'll see, hopefully, many, many, many of you there at Yoga Studio 90 on Highlandia. If you're not familiar, runs parallel to I-10 off of Highland Road, like where Blue Bayou is. It's on the other side of I-10 where you turn off of Highland onto Highlandia. All right, one thing left to do. Let's find out what we're betting on tonight. It's time for Otter Locks.
Otter Locks, presented by Clark Crane Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in St. Francisville. Because a great deal is worth a short drive to Clark Crane.
So we turn to the one and only, The incomparable and often incomprehensible. Standing in for the Ottfather. Let me rephrase. The often comprehensible. The succinct. The erudite. Charles Hannegriff. Hanny, how are you?
I'm good. Thanks for adjusting the intro there.
I had to. Someone that actually makes sense. Someone that wouldn't come on here and give us Vanderbilt against Kentucky last night. That's who I'm looking forward to. I'm looking for winners is what I'm looking for. That's why we turned to Hanny. All right, Hanny, what are we looking at tonight, man? What do you like?
Man, I like Wake Forest a little bit, going at the top of the hour, catching 6 at home against Duke. Coach K is not going to be there first thing. Non-COVID illness, but he's out for tonight's game. Wake's won their last 10 home games. These are the top 2 scoring teams in the ACC. 83 points for Duke, Wake at 80. So I expect them to get up and down the floor pretty good. I'll take the 6 points at home. Watch Duke on Saturday. They had a 2-week break when they were out with COVID, and then they came back to beat a bad Georgia Tech team. And then they got beat on Saturday by Miami when it's kind of like they ran out of gas a little bit. The conditioning may have taken a toll. I know that's because they came up 3 points short on the total when they should have gone over, but that's a whole different.
I heard you on Friday give the over on that game, so I was curious if it hit. I wasn't sure.
I have shot in the air a regular 3 that would have put the total over at the horn that missed, and so I still think I was on the right side, but you know how that goes, doesn't always work out. Wake 47 NET, so this is a solid program. You probably saw them earlier in the year. LSU handled them on a neutral floor pretty good, but LSU's pretty good. So they're 3-3 in the top 2 boxes, quad 1 and quad 2. I'll take the home team in the 6 points against the Coach Kayla's Dukies tonight.
All right. Well, I got a feeling on LSU Florida tipping off here in about 8 minutes.
I think this is a hard game for LSU to win, to go on the road without Xavier Pinson and face what I'm not going to call Florida a desperate team. It's too early in the conference season for that. But let's call them an anxious team, a team that's playing with a little bit of a sense of urgency. They got beat double digits by Auburn and Alabama. The Alabama game was at home. They've been out-rebounded something terrible. So I think that there's they haven't won a game since before Christmas. They had a game with Ole Miss canceled. So I think there's a little bit of a sense of urgency there, and LSU going without their experienced point guard. I think it's going to be tough. Colin Castleton, he ate LSU up last year. He had 21 points, 7 boards in that game. It was a very close game. I think Florida won about 4 points. He's back again, averaging 15.5 and 9. He's going to be a handful. And it's going to be incumbent that I think that Tari Eason not get in Upton Reed not get in early foul trouble like he did against Tennessee. That put an awful lot of pressure on Tari Eason. So I'm hopeful that LSU gets some good minutes out of Justice Williams tonight in relief of Pinson. But I think this is a tough spot for LSU. You've seen this line climbing today.
He is Charles Hannegriff. Where are you tonight, man?
We are at City Slice, just off the LSU campus.
Great location, man. Is Otter joining you later, or is he out for the whole show?
He's out for the whole show. It's awards night at Episcopal, and there's a football banquet. So Episcopal had a great year, and so Jimmy will be there with EJ.
Awesome.
And we'll hold down the fort here tonight.
He is Charles Hannegriff. Game Time with Jimmy Ott. Game Time with Charles Hannegriff. Follows us here, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, online at 104.5ESPN.com or the Game Time with Jimmy Ott Facebook page. Hanny, thank you so much, man. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Con.
All right, man. Be well. Do me a favor there, Muse. Help me out with the button if you would. All right. Wrapping up. Again, I'm jetting out of here. Heading over to Yoga Studio 90. We got the free class. Come join us. If you're looking for a great workout, it's something I've sworn by for years. You will sweat. If you don't have a yoga mat, don't sweat it. No pun intended. They got you covered. You will do cardio. There will be full body functional strength, stretching, balance. Give yourself this hour. Come hang out with us. I'm literally walking out the door as soon as we finish here to head over there. Starting 5 has been listed for tonight's ball game, which is tipping off here in just minutes. Days, Wilkinson, Reed, Gaines, and Murray. So Gaines, of course, will get the start there in place of the
Murray,
injured.
present.
Thank you. The injured Xavier Pinson, and Murray's going to get the start there at the 2 guard. So we'll see if the Tigers go get it done on the road tonight against Florida in Gainesville. I think it's one they got to get. They got to get this one tonight in Gainesville if they want to hit my 5-2 in the first 7 mark. All right, Don Muse, what'd you learn tonight?
Ross Dellenger did not know that Nakobe Dean had the wrong hat on after the game.
How in the world?
I was shocked he didn't know that.
Almost as shocking as you not knowing that Jerome Bettis' nickname is the Bus.
I think Delly's was more shocking.
I don't think so.
I think it might have been.
Paulie, what'd you learn?
That was mine. That Musso doesn't know Jerome Bettis' nickname.
Yes, that's incredible.
What'd you learn, man?
Literally, my 2 were the 2 that you said that I wrote down. I figured for sure one of you would not go there. But both were equally incredible. So, and stunning. And I also learned that, no, I got it. Steve Tisch. Steve Tisch won a Super Bowl and an Academy Award. How about that? Thanks to my mother-in-law's football trivia game that she gave me. We learned that today.
Because you're the favorite.
Well, I'm definitely not the favorite. But I'll play the favorite today anyway. Shout out to Pluckers. Y'all have a great night. We will see you tomorrow at 3 for AFR.
AFR.
As we get on down the road, we remind you about the Williamson Eye Center, WilliamsonEYE.com. 924-2020, 924-2020, or WilliamsonEYE.com. If you want to see 2020, call 924-2020 for the Williamson Eye Center. Locations all over the greater Baton Rouge area. Of course, their surgery location, their newest location, is on the the Baton Rouge General Bluebonnet campus. Excuse me. You turn off of Bluebonnet onto Picardy. The building on the right, that's where Williamson Eye Center is. You walk into that building, the first 2 floors of the Williamson Eye Center. State-of-the-art dry eye center. They've got their optical shop, so if you want to buy contacts or glasses, you can do it there as well. Or if you want to be done with contacts and glasses forever, LASIK, PRK, lens replacement, there's a refractive procedure for you to help you live your life without contacts or glasses, and the Williamson Eye Center can make it happen. 924-2020 or WilliamsonEYE.com.
And our topic today is about savings. What is savings?
Hancock Whitney isn't just a bank for our clients. We're investing in our hometowns, making life better for everyone. So keep dreaming. We've got your back.
Bayou Ford has 0% for 60 months on new Ford F-150s. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million-mile powertrain warranty. And now 0% for 60 months on Ford F-150s. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend